Mark 30-second stations. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Stations, please be advised that you must disable your streaming to websites and apps during this IMG broadcast. Coming up on 15 seconds until airtime, Mark 15-second stations. Have fun.
The following is a presentation of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hello, Bulldog Nation.
Welcome to the Napa Tailgate Show.
A terrific day of football ahead.
Dogs need that kind of toughness in every game.
He's a big play kind of guy.
So much on the line, and the fans are ready for it.
It's going to feel like an earthquake.
This is the Napa Tailgate Show. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Today's show is brought to you in part by Comcast. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. AAA, expect something more. By Comcast Business, beyond fast. Georgia Farm Bureau, always the home team. By EasyGo, a new element of innovation. Georgia United Credit Union, the official credit union of Georgia Athletics. And by Kroger, fresh food, low prices. This is the Napa Tailgate Show.
Here's 3rd and 3 from the 22 from the throw. Throws it deep, caught by Crumpton. Crumpton at the 50. He'll go all the way, straight out of Crumpton. Crumpton into the end zone.
It was a runaway beatdown at historic Grant Field last year as Jake Fromm piloted Georgia to its 9th consecutive triumph on Tech's home turf. Today, our Bulldogs hope to hold serve, defeat the Jackets in Sanford Stadium for the first time since 2012, and finish out the regular season with a second consecutive 11-1 victory campaign. 11 victory campaign. Hello again, Bulldog Nation, and happy Thanksgiving weekend. Along with our usual crew of Scott Howard, Eric Zier, and Lauren Smith, this is Neil Hondo Williamson. Welcome to the Napa Tailgate Show.
Arguably one of the hottest teams in the country as far as what they're doing offensively. They've put 4 really good games together back-to-back, scoring a lot of points, playing better defense this year, and playing better on special teams as well.
There's Coach Smart and Scott Howard. No pushover today. Tech is rolling, brother. 4 straight wins, 6 out of 7.
Yeah, they certainly aren't a pushover. I do, however, have a bit of a problem with their game notes that says they're white hot. White hot Georgia Tech. Of course, those are written by Georgia Tech folks, but I don't know white hot would describe beating a 7-5 Virginia team, a 5-6 Virginia Tech team, a 2-8 North Carolina team, or a 6-5 Miami team. Now, yes, they won those games, and they have been playing well, certainly running the football. They do that as good or if not better than anybody else in the country because that's practically all they do. So they are very good at it. They run the ball about 90% of the time, and they rush for a lot of yards, over 350 yards per game. They lead the ACC. They lead the nation in that category. So they've found the right formula to win those last 4 games since the loss to Duke in mid-October, and they come in with not a whole lot to lose today. They've already become bowl eligible. They're not going to play for a conference championship or anything like that. They've got 7 wins. They've won here the last 2 times under Paul Johnson, so they're pretty comfortable coming into today's game.
I think that Scott Howard just picked up his pair of gloves and slapped Georgia Tech across the face there, baby. They are not white hot.
They are not white hot.
They are not white. And even if they are, let them come into here. I'll tell you what, these weather conditions today might look a little dreary to everybody that's driving into Athens right now, but it sets up perfectly for a beat down of the Yellow Jackets today by the Dogs. Yellow Jackets already put the football on the ground 30 times this year coming into this football game. We eliminate the explosive play, make them drive the field against a defense, quite honestly, that they haven't seen all year long. Let this game begin, because you know they're rolling in here with a lot of confidence. They have torn up our hedges the last 2 times they've been in here, torn them up, jumped into them, they put them in their mouth, they're eating them, they're doing all. I want everybody to remember that from the opening whistle. I don't care that we're starting early. That just means the beatdown starts a little bit earlier today. Let them come in here with the white hot, with the false confidence. Let's go hit them in the face a couple of times and then see how white hot they stay.
Lauren, I think our 2 partners have had quite a bit of caffeine this morning. What do you think?
No, I think they're drinking something else.
Well, I was in the islands, man.
You were in the islands, man. Yeah. These guys are ready to whip up on the Jackets. This is great. Well, Georgia Tech not only revived their season and built confidence in starting out 1-3, but the 7-4 Ramblin' Wreck brings to Athens that hinky offense that drives opposing coaches nuts.
First, you got to be patient, because the option is a little tricky, and then at the same time, you got to be fast and just run straight back down the line of scrimmage.
If you make a mistake, he'll make you pay, or he'll expose you on it. Maybe the very next play, maybe the very next drive, but he knows what complements what. So for us, it's having the right eyes in the right place for our players' sake. And if we don't play something correctly, you better get it fixed quick.
Well, we heard from senior linebacker DeAndre Walker, followed by Coach Smart and Eric Zier 1 year ago. We suffocated Tech's triple option, but I don't see Roquan and Lorenzo and Davin walking through the door today. Is this young Georgia defense ready for what they're about to see?
Yeah, we are. Kirby Smart has done something that is very unique in college football, where he dedicates a period throughout the entire year specifically designed to see this offense. So when you get to the game, it is not as foreign. Now, Tech may come out and may have a couple of explosive drives or plays where they get off quick while we're getting our feet, because you can't get our feet up underneath us, because it's very hard to replicate the speed that you're going to see and the width that this Georgia Tech offense is able to get in this triple option. But once that occurs, we've got the athletes, we've got the talent. We've seen similar schemes, although not the triple option. So much of the spread offenses that you see right now in college football go off of the same principles, where you're trying to get one-on-one matchups and athletes in space. We've seen a lot of that. If we remain disciplined, we've got the athleticism to shut this down.
Well, one thing Tech's offense does for sure is it chews clock and keeps opposing attacks on the bench.
The number of opportunities or series or drives you may have, it may be less. I mean, realistically, it may be less. We probably have less than most people, because we've been a ball control, time possession offense. Maybe not to the extent Tech is, but we understand those kind of games.
Lauren, Coach Smart loves to run the ball. In 2009, we remember how the Dogs ran the state with 355 rushing yards, kept Tech off the field. Would you just pound it at Tech all day to keep their offense off the field?
Certainly not a bad plan, but I think a key to this game, and everybody keeps talking about Tech's offense, what about Georgia's offense? Georgia's offense is pretty good, and to the extent that I think they can score, because we're not one-dimensional. We can throw the ball, we can run the ball. So I think if the Georgia offense does what it's capable of doing, based on games played to date, they'll have an advantage in keeping Tech off the field just by going out there and trying to score points.
Scott, how concerned should we be about Georgia's defense after surrendering a boatload of yards to UMass last week? 206 in the first half against our frontliners.
Well, I don't know if we should be concerned. I mean, I think Tech's going to get some yards, but I don't know if that's a reason for concern about our defense, or to worry that we're going to give up 400 or 500 yards of offense today. I think Tech's that's just the way they're built. They're going to get some yards as long as we can keep them out of the end zone. They can run them down the field all day. But you look at Georgia's defensive numbers in the SEC. We're fifth in the league in scoring defense, less than 17 points a game. Fourth in the league, rushing defense, allowing 128 yards today. Now, if we hold Tech to 128 yards today on the ground, Georgia will win this ball game going away. total defense, Georgia's third in the league in the Southeastern Conference and fourth in the league in pass defense. So I think our defense is all right. They'll get some yards today. I feel pretty certain that Tech will be able to generate some of that. As long as we can keep them off the scoreboard, I think that's going to work in Georgia's favor.
All right, it's a rivalry weekend in college football here in the Peach State. No love lost between these programs. 2 years ago, Tech stunned the Dogs with a 2-touchdown fourth-quarter rally and celebrated, as Eric Zier said, by decimating our hallowed hedges.
Me personally, I don't need to be reminded. I mean, it's stuck in there. I mean, I remember it vividly like it was yesterday. Just seeing them guys do that, I mean, that's something you don't want at your own field at that. So we're going to try to take care of business.
There's senior receiver Terry Godwin. Lauren, I reckon you'll discuss this later when UGA Athletic Director Greg McGarity joins the broadcast. But it appears an armistice has been reached and that destruction of Georgia's property will stop should the Jackets pull off an upset today.
Well, anytime that subject comes up, all you have to do is talk to the head coach. The head coach is going to dictate what the players do. I know Kirby does not want anything like that, any demonstration ever. And I can remember him saying about a certain team last year at a certain time, I don't want anything said today, men. We got to play these guys next year. So I think it's just being smart. Mm-hmm. Plus the fact that I think it's showing disrespect when you do things. No team, you've never seen any Alabama player stomp on a logo. You've never seen a Georgia player, since Kirby Smart, do that. So it's up to the head coach. I can't answer the question because I'm not the opposing head coach. Right. But if you coach them right, not only do they not do it, they don't think about doing it.
Very good. All right. 176 hours from now, Alabama awaits. Eric, I can see how during the game, no players will be looking ahead. But over the past 7 days, during non-team hours, are guys keeping a focus on Tech, or do their minds drift to Alabama? Or when they don't have to think about football, are they just thinking about normal things like girls and food and studies?
Probably the latter is what they're probably thinking of right now. I will tell you, before the playoff era, I think it was much more likely for guys, I know it was much more likely for guys to go in and have their thoughts wander to what was ahead. Mm-hmm. But because of the playoff system now, where every game is critical, every game is monumental, if we want to accomplish, if these players want to accomplish their ultimate goals, it's not just about Alabama. It's not just about winning the SEC championship game. It's about taking care of business every single time that you step on the field, and they understand the importance if they want to stay in that conversation, be a part of that dialogue. And on top of that, Coach Smart, we've mentioned this throughout the year, has done a really remarkable job within the Butts-Mehre, within the athletic department, within this team, really within the Bulldog Nation, of not looking past any opponent ever, good or bad, that you're playing to a level of excellence. He's completely changed the culture of this program. I think the guys have bought into that. And then you just couple that with the playoff era that we're in, where every game means so much, makes it much more difficult, I think, for your mind to wander too far down the road.
All right, very good. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, man. Our engineer is Tony Schiavone, assisted by Chris Schiavone. Young Jay Black keeps us on the air here at the Chili Scana stage. The studio producer of the Bulldogs Tailgate Show is Zach Jewell. As a proud sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs, Napa Auto Parts can help your ride and your tailgate party go the distance. Quality parts, helpful people, that's Napa know-how. Coming up next, a Larry Munson highlight from the Bulldogs Yellow Jackets archives, which, until a certain contest in Pasadena last January, many Georgia fans felt it was the greatest Georgia game they'd ever seen. We'll have one of the heroes of that victory with us here on the Scana stage as we walk you up to a noon kickoff from Athens. It's the Dogs and the Jackets. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Napa know-how. You're there every game, same time, same spot, sporting your team's gear and flipping burgers like the diehard fanatic that you are. And while every vehicle at the tailgate deserves quality parts and Napa know-how, none deserve it more than yours, the perennial tailgate champion. And with Napa know-how, you and your ride can go the distance. Quality parts, helpful people, and proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
Did you know Georgia is one of the leading producers of pecans in the entire world? That's how hard Georgia farmers work to help cultivate the state's economy. And that's why Georgia Farm Bureau cultivates farmers with agricultural research and assistance programs and access to benefits that save families money, like home and auto insurance. You can join online for just a few bucks a year. So, get cracking.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Those Southern-raised, nationally acclaimed Georgia Bulldogs. The only thing better than being a legend is a Bulldog, and you're both. Whether you're in a classroom, a boardroom, resting your paws overseas, or in Sanford Stadium screaming your red and black hearts out, you are legends. Delta is proud to be the official airline of UGA Athletics, and we're ready to take you everywhere legends need to be. Now let's hear that chapel bell ring. Delta Airlines, keep climbing.
There's a common misconception that all chicken sandwiches from the South are the same. Cue Zaxby's new buttermilk and hand-breaded Southern Sweet and Smoky and Southern TLC chicken sandwiches. One has sweet pickles, lettuce, smoky backyard sauce, and a potato bun. The other, a perfected classic with lettuce, tomato, and mayo. Both served with crinkle fries and a 22-ounce drink. The Southern chicken sandwich will never be the same. Order ahead on Zaxby's.com or use our app to skip the wait. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
You're listening to Dogs Football. Now back to more of the Napa Tailgate Show.
First and goal at the Minutemen 5. Holyfield bounces out left. He's going to waltz into the end zone. He shredded a tackle at the 6 and untouched a light jog into the left front corner of the end zone for the touchdown, and Georgia's leading it 13-0.
Elijah, 1 TD on just 6 carries last week. Good to give his body a respite from the pounding as we enter Game 12. Your 5th-ranked Bulldogs between the hedges for the last time in 2018 as we entertain Georgia Tech. Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show. Here's our Lauren Smith. Lauren.
And with us, Anthony Arnold, an Athens boy, Cedar Shoals.
Oh, yeah.
And then he came to Georgia and hung around after he graduated.
Yeah.
Spent his life working here. That's been a good life for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, I can't complain. It's good to be able to do good while you're at home.
And then, Amp, you never have had a grin. Well, maybe a grin, but I've never seen you upset. Do you get upset?
Occasionally, but again, nothing that's upsetting.
Always had a smile, and you always had that nice dress. Your shoes were always taped white. You look like Lenny Moore. Do you remember him? Did you copy him, the Baltimore Colts?
Well, I always had this thing, if you dress good, you look good, you play good.
All right. And you sure dressed good your whole career, and you played well your whole career. We'll get our grammar right. Play good and look good. Mm-hmm. But the Georgia Tech game, 1978, turned out to be a barn burner. Georgia winning, as Neil said earlier, 29-28. You had the winning points, the winning touchdown, and the 2-point play end around. That was your best game, maybe?
I don't know if it's the best game. It's probably one of the most memorable games.
Yeah.
Anytime you do well against Tech, it stays with you.
Of course, your teammate was pretty good that day, Scott Werner.
Oh, yes, he was super. He kept us in it all day. Gave us an opportunity to win.
Were you cheering him from the field? You were. When he was on the field, you were. You would have been. You'd been on the sideline.
Yes.
You pay close attention to what he was doing.
Yes, I always watch the defense. Again, that's part of the way of cheering each other on.
All right, now we're gonna get the Munson call of your touchdown and
2-point conversion. Yeah.
Okay,
good. Light it up there, Zach.
2:36, Georgia getting beat in their own ballpark. They need 2.5 yards now on 4th down. Buck Bellew sprinting to the right, looking to throw, looking in trouble, and there's a man open. Arnold! Touchdown! Touchdown! Georgia taking a 6-5, packed close. Dogs need a yard for possible victory, and Bellew pitched the ball. Arnold got it. Anthony Arnold, a flag. He got 2 points. Anthony Arnold, a flag.
How about that?
That was terrific. Now,
touchdown and the 2-point conversion. We were down 28-21 at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I remember what you said. Buck looked like he was going to run the ball, so that brought the Georgia Tech defense in.
Right.
And you snuck behind them.
Yes.
Recall that.
Well, again, as you mentioned, it was 4th down. And I vividly remember once we called the play, I was coming out, going to my position. I'm thinking, I'm going to get the ball. I'm going to get the ball. Again, it was an out route to get the first down. And as I ran my route, Buck got covered up before unclearing. And I ran out of the room on the out route, and I just turned up. And he was able to find me. And, of course, I caught the ball, and my favorite line was, I just cruised from there.
All I had to do was catch it and cruise.
Yeah.
All right. That'll be in any book that's written about Georgia and Georgia Tech indefinitely. That was really a wonderful game, and what made it so wonderful, being at home, getting behind, got down 20-0 and came back. So that was a terrific victory, and we're mighty happy that you are able to come see us today and visit with us. You enjoy seeing the Dogs play. Do you have season tickets? I see you quite often.
Yeah, I usually come by all the home games and still get away to a couple of the away games as well. Florida's always there.
You're a good fan.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Anthony Arnold. Neil, as we go, I'd like to remind everybody, a lot of people knew former athletic board member Ed Larson, who now teaches at Pepperdine. I called him to find out if he were affected by the fire. Has a wonderful home right on the edge of the Pepperdine campus. He said the fire came all the way to his backyard.
Oh, my goodness.
He didn't suffer any damage, so we're happy about that. Ed Larson, we look forward to seeing him when he comes visit with us in January.
All right, very good. Thank you, Lauren. Amp, always great to see you.
All right, Neil.
Good to see you.
Yes,
all right,
yes.
Amp Arnold joining us here on the Napa Tailgate Show. Thank you for that, and thank you, Lauren. Georgia fans, check out the newest sideline gear from Nike at the UGA bookstore. Today, we are wearing the black full zip jacket. I need to take that out from underneath my fleece. There we go. It's lovely, just like the coaches wear. It's perfect weight for this time of year. Shop the UGA bookstore before or after the game and check out the largest selection of UGA gear from Nike, Peter Millar, Tommy Bahama, 47 brand, and many more. And always stop by on game day for some great autographs. Today, Coach Dooley and John Theus are signing from 9 until 11. So if you're here in Athens, shop the UGA bookstore located next to the Tate Center, or you can shop online at UGAbookstore.com. The UGA Bookstore, it's where the dogs shop.
And dog fans, join us every Sunday from 10 until noon, live from the Hilltop Grill as host Jeff Dantzler and Kevin Butler break down all of the action from today's game. Hilltop Grill, located at 2310 West Broad Street in Athens.
The state championship is on the line. Who will take home the Governor's Cup and bragging rights for the next 365 days? Tech and Georgia kick at noon today. We'll take you right up to kickoff on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
At Georgia Power, we're committed to providing clean, safe, affordable, and reliable energy. And for over 130 years, we've also committed to being stewards of the community. Last year alone, our employees volunteered over 147,000 hours of their own time, while the Georgia Power Foundation donated more than $1.3 million in scholarships to students across Georgia. These are just a few of the ways we're working to strengthen our communities in the place we call home. Learn more at georgiapower.com/community.
We Dogs are known for always giving 110%, both on and off the field. But no matter how hard we work, we can't deny that getting sick is easy. Luckily, getting care is too. As the official healthcare provider of the Georgia Bulldogs, Piedmont is committed to getting us better. With urgent care, same-day appointments, virtual visits from your smartphone or desktop, and Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, they've got the care you need when you need it. Booking an appointment is only a click away, so for game day and every day, get better at piedmont.org/UGA.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
All right, we got the grill going?
Yep.
Dog flags up?
All 10. Cooler have ice?
Yes, sir. Stopped at a 76 station for gas, chips, and ice. Hey, Steve. Hey, Joe. You guys tailgating on a Wednesday?
Yep.
Nice.
Live every day like it's game day. Purchase 8 or more gallons of gas at your nearest participating 76 station and enter for a chance to win a 76 UGA Fuel Your Tailgate Game Day experience. 76. We're on the driver's side. Promotion valid from October 1st to November 16th. Full terms and conditions available at 76fuelyourtailgate.com.
termite infestation. At Breda Pest Management, they don't use bait stations spread apart by 20 feet each. At Breda, we stack the line of scrimmage and leave no gaps in coverage by liquid treating with Termidor. Plus, Breda locks in their termite renewals for under $200. So if you're paying over $300 every year for termite protection, you're paying too much. Get better termite protection and more value, all for a better price with Breda Pest Management. BREDA Pest.com.
Perfect way to begin your Georgia football Saturday.
Kick is blocked! The kick is blocked! It's no good! It's no good!
Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show.
And the pass is picked off by Tate Crowder. Crowder spinning away at the 32 from a tackler to the far sideline and down there inside the UMass 30.
Tate Crowder with the pick last week. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show. It's a little chilly in Athens, but the rain seems to have moved out, and we are ready for football. And sure hope that if you have tickets, you are going to come out and join us. Got to support the dogs here. Get on out and muscle up. It's not like it's freezing, right? Here's our Lauren Smith with a special guest. Lauren?
And Josh Brooks certainly thinks it's going to warm up. Apparently, he's here with the light windbreaker. I've got on about 4 sleeves and could use a couple more, and I'd need a foot warmer. Josh, you probably on top of the weather. We're going to see sunshine before the end of the day.
I think so. The clouds are starting to break up a little bit. It's projected to get warmer. I think it'll be around 46 at kickoff, and then later in the game it should hit up to 55. So it should be a pretty nice day for all things considered.
Well, if it's not your direct responsibility, you know about whatever goes on in the Athletic Association. You are the deputy athletic director for operations. The field, an opinion of the field is in good shape, and won't be a problem throwing the football, that kind of thing.
You know, our field has got a great sand base, so it always drains really, really well. So even all things considered, and with the the rain we've had the last few weeks, and this being the third home straight game in a row, you always worry about it. But our crew, led by Matt Holland, does a great job of keeping it in great shape. It's in great shape, and I think that with the wind, the wind right now and the rain breaking up earlier, I think the field should be in great shape.
Now, Josh, you've seen a lot of changes. You were here. You left to be athletic director at Milltaps. You came back. A lot of things have happened since you returned. Happened during the time you were here. The indoor center, the West End Zone project. A lot more going to take place, some of which have been planned and announced, some which are in the planning stages. But we're going to have a facilities boom moving forward.
You know, we've always got to be looking ahead to the future, because this is, the nature of the athletics in the Southeastern Conference is it's an arms race. So whether you're building it or planning it, you've got to stay one step ahead and be planning for what's the next phase and having essentially a plan for each sport and where you're heading in that direction. So yeah, there are always things in the works. Right now we've got the Equestrian Center going up right now, and then we've got immediate plans to build a new grandstand at tennis. But yes, there's always something in the works for almost every sport.
Our guest is Josh Brooks, the Deputy Athletic Director for Operations. I always like to tell this story. Neil, Eric, Josh went to LSU. He came here when LSU played. He went and walked the campus and said, if I ever have a chance to work at another college, this is the place I want to be. What struck you that was so encouraging and so uplifting about the Georgia operation in the Georgia campus?
Well, it was a combination of things, but I think, when you grow up in South Louisiana and you see everything is flat and swamps and everything else, when you come to here and you see the undulating campus and just the beauty of it, I mean, actually the trees actually change color here, and, the beautiful colors, red and black. The campus is beautiful. The people are great. I fell in love immediately, and I told my best friend, if I ever have a chance, that's the place I want to go work, and Lord willing, it all came to work out.
And we're happy that it came to be.
I was a big Eric Zier fan growing up, too. I loved it, watching him play.
I was, too, when I was a kid.
Josh Brooks, thank you for joining us. We'll be hearing more about Josh and what he is managing and supervising as time goes by. Neil, as we go out of this segment, I'd like to say hello to Spurgeon Richardson, former longtime president of Atlanta Convention and Visitors Bureau, who was inducted recently in the U.S. Travel Association's Hall of Leaders back in November. Our good friend Spurgeon, he ran Six Flags for years, and I used to get He'd give me Six Flag tickets for football tickets, and my kids grew up. Didn't need to go to Six Flags anymore. I said, Spurgeon, the deal has got to change.
Well, Spurge never gave me tickets, but he is a friend, and Spurge, I'm really happy to hear that. Great. Thank you so much, Lauren Josh. Great to see you. Thank you very much. All right, Dog Nation, for all your information needs, be sure to log on to GeorgiaDogs.com. From tracking event results to exclusive behind-the-scenes coverage, GeorgiaDogs.com has you covered. Also, be sure to check out the G-Shop for exclusive releases of Nike Sideline official apparel, just like the coaches wear. Visit GeorgiaDogs.com and the G-Shop today. Well, the voice of the Dogs, Scott Howard, is standing by. He'll join us again in the next 30 minutes. Eric Zier as well. We'll talk a little Dogs offense, but stick around. There's more to come. This is the Napa Tailgate Show on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
I'm John Addison, a lifetime Bulldog fan, Georgia graduate, and the chairman of distribution for Primerica, the largest independent financial services marketing company in North America. Primerica is a Main Street company for Main Street families. We help people from all walks of life achieve their goals and dreams by offering common sense financial solutions to today's challenges. As a Georgia-based company, Primerica is proud to continue to sponsor Georgia football. Go Dogs!
Hi, son. You're on speaker. Just got back from the park. Guess I'm getting used to civilian life. Mom's here, too.
Hi, honey. Just making dinner. Your sister's into this gluten-free thing. Am I boring you, dear?
It's just good to hear your voice, Mom.
A call from home takes you home. AT&T proudly offers wireless and TV discounts to military veterans and their families. Get started in store or visit att.com/military savings for details. Coverage not available everywhere. Exclusions, eligibility, and other restrictions apply.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
When the deadline clock is ticking, an unreliable network can cost your business money. That's why you need Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast with the complete reliability of 4G LTE backup, which means that even if something like construction accidentally knocks out the power, you can still upload that big presentation, email important clients, invoice customers, and not take a hit to your company's bottom line. For a limited time, switch to Comcast Business and get an amazing deal on fast, reliable internet. Get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines. Just one more way Comcast Business goes beyond other providers. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 12/31/18. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, subject to change. Connection Pro backup limited to up to 6 hours and requires Comcast Business Internet.
This is Georgia Bulldogs football.
35-30. He's got a convoy. He's got to go. Touchdown.
Now back to more of the Napa Tailgate Show.
Chuck Dowdle here and talking with Chuck Beggs, the director for River of Life. It's a nonprofit organization that does great work repairing homes of elderly and needy families in Lincolnton, Georgia and the surrounding areas, and being honored today. And Chuck, congratulations on the honor, but mostly congratulations for the great work that your organization does, and tell everybody about it.
Well, thank you, Chuck. Our organization, River of Life, we got started about 26 years ago, 27 years ago. We had a local pastor that saw a need in our community, so we started a local project, and he named it River of Life. For the last 15 years, me and my wife have taken it over, the local chapter. And like you said, we go around and we ask for applications, but a lot of times we don't get the real needy people, you know. I guess prideful and people don't really want to help. So we go around and actually look for these houses. I mean, we build porches, we build wheelchair ramps. We usually roof 1 or 2 homes a year. We really just try to build up our community because it's a lot of places, a lot of elderly folks, a lot of handicapped people in all communities that are not able to do for themselves.
Chuck, I was just going to say, your organization really impacts their day-to-day lives.
It does. I guess over the last 15 years, we've put probably between $250,000 to $300,000 back into the community. People get a real sense of they feel better about themselves when you go in and help somebody. But not only that, when we go in they're allowing us to feel so much better about ourselves. Oh, gracious, if everybody could help somebody every day, I guarantee you they'll feel better about themselves at the end of every day.
No question about it. Chuck, I can't tell you, how much we all appreciate the work that you and your organization does to help these people in the Lincolnton, Georgia area and the surrounding area. And just continue the great work, and congratulations, my friend.
Well, thank you very much. It's nice talking to you, and it's a great honor.
Fields play fake. Oh, spin move off the right edge into the end zone, standing up. Touchdown, Justin Fields. He looked like Swift with that move.
Nifty TD as Georgia freshman Justin Fields became the first Bulldog quarterback in nearly 20 years to have at least 100 rushing yards in a game last week against UMass. It's Georgia and Georgia Tech today between the hedges. Thanks for tuning in to the Napa Tailgate Show. Lauren, Zaire, Scott, and your old buddy Hondo here on the radio. And time for us to check in with the Comcast Business Scoreboard. Last night, a couple of top 25 matchups. Number 6, Oklahoma at number 9, West Virginia. These guys just battled it out. Touchdown after touchdown, back and forth. And Oklahoma ended up on top 59-56. The Sooners with a couple of defensive scores in that one to help them. Meanwhile, 18th ranked Washington went into Pullman and knocked off number 8 Washington State 28-15. So we saw 2 top 10 teams lose last night in top 25 matchups. Elsewhere today at noon, besides our contest here in Athens, you've got 4th ranked Michigan at number 10 Ohio State, number 12 Syracuse at 20th ranked Boston College, number 13 Florida plays at FSU today at 3:30. Top ranked Alabama entertains Auburn. At 4 o'clock, Vanderbilt hosts Tennessee. The winner receives a 6-6 record, earns a 6-6 record, and then will receive a bowl berth. Tonight at 7, South Carolina at 2nd-ranked Clemson, number 17 Kentucky at Louisville, and you've got 3rd-ranked Notre Dame at Southern Cal. That scoreboard update brought to you by Comcast Business Beyond Fast. And now here's our Lauren Smith with our Primerica Player of the Week. Lauren.
Our Primerica Player of the Week this week, true freshman quarterback Justin Fields, a native of Kennesaw, Georgia. He came off the bench to go 5 for 8 for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then added 100 yards rushing and a score on 7 carries during Georgia's 66-27 win over Massachusetts. His career-high 100 yards marked the first time a quarterback had led the Bulldogs in rushing since 2005 and made him the first Georgia signal caller with 100 yards rushing since Quincy Carter in 1998. We'd like to thank our good friends at Primerica, Glenn Williams, also Mike Burrows and John Addison for helping us honor a Georgia player each week during the season. And we go back over to Neil Williamson.
All right, thank you, Lauren. Georgia Tech has made 12 interceptions this season, shared among 9 players. How often will the Dogs test the Jackets secondary today? Well, we'll ask Eric Zaire for an offensive preview. That's 2 minutes from now. Your SEC East Division champs kick off at noon from Sanford Stadium. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network.
This is Kirby Smart, head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs. The game of football requires serious discipline, remarkable talent, and a ton of effort every day. It's the same with the truck I drive. Ford F-Series works hard, plays hard, and gets the job done right. That's why it's been America's best-selling truck 41 years straight, leading the truck game year after year. See your local Ford dealer for big savings on F-150, the official truck of the Georgia Bulldogs. And me, Kirby Smart.
As soon as we brought our son home from the hospital, I wanted to put him in a protective bubble. I'm Chastity Maney from Country Financial, and like most parents, I want to make sure my son is protected throughout his life. Fortunately, I know Country Financial will also be there to help his dad and me along the way, as he gets his license and first car, and as we pack that car to leave for college.
Find a representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Holiday Inn Express wants to let you in on a little secret. You can now get at least 25% off at HolidayInnExpress.com during our cyber sale. We'll even throw in free breakfast. Just kidding. Breakfast is always included in your stay at Holiday Inn Express. Book now and save at HolidayInnExpress.com. Terms apply.
Whoever said less is more hasn't spent enough time in the Southeastern Conference. Here, it's all about more. More techie, more frenzy, more friendly, more rowdy, more quirky, non-negotiable traditions, more time of your life, more ways to turn 120 credit hours into all kinds of open doors. More of everything the college experience is all about. Yeah, in the SEC, it just means more.
Setting the table for Dogs football.
Bounces out right, still running. 10, 5, pylon, touchdown!
You're listening to the Napa Tailgate Show.
3 receivers left for Georgia. Fields, handoff, Harrion cuts inside the tackle and into the end zone. Touchdown between the hash marks, running, dragging a man with him. He was standing up as he scored.
Brian Harrion muscling up against UMass last week as Georgia amassed 426 rushing yards, the most in a game since we boat raced Vandy back in 1987. This Georgia offense update is brought to you by UPS, working together to achieve great things like the Bulldogs. That's problem solving. Visit UPS.com to learn more. Official logistics partner of Georgia Athletics.
Those guys are coming out and making plays, out of the blue. But they do it in practice all the time, and, when they're getting their opportunities in the games, they're taking advantage of it. So, those guys have been doing great, and, I'm really happy, to see those guys make big plays like that.
There's Georgia tight end Isaac Nauta. He's pleased that at least 76 of his Bulldogs teammates saw action between the hedges last Saturday. Eric Zier rejoins us, and 10 Georgia players caught passes against UMass. 3 quarterbacks took at least 16 snaps each. 12 Bulldogs carried the ball. Heck, our 7th-string tailback even toted the mail last week. Did anything we saw last week against a clearly outmanned opponent capture your attention?
I just think the depth of our explosiveness, that we have playmakers that run deep into our roster, that every time they touch the football and they are in space, they can take it to the house. And it just gives opposing defensive coordinators so much to work on and so much to think about when you can go as deep in the roster, and we can hurt opposing defenses in so many ways. You think about us throwing the football last week, explosive plays by Jake Fromm and by Justin Fields, running the football with a variety of different guys, and everyone that touched the football had a chance to put it in the end zone. Obviously, it was an outmatched opponent to where we had a lot of space and a lot of creases in a football game, but the talent level of this team offensively is something to behold.
All right, well, when so many players play, that means the starters sit with Tech today, the SEC championship game a week off. Does the rest our starters received last week have any real recuperative value for the Dogs?
I think in 2 ways. I think this deep in the season, getting to rest physically obviously helps you some. And now you want to keep your frontline guys in a rhythm and continuing to play football. I expect to see a lot of them today, even if the game gets out of hand to some extent, that we see our frontliners playing some football because they got the ability to rest, but also the emotional recuperation that you can get from not having to grind in a football game with some of the big games that we have still on the horizon, today being one of them, the SEC championship game, and then who knows after that. But being able to rest emotionally and mentally, get a little bit of a reprieve when you go into another gauntlet here to end the season, very important.
All right, very good. Okay, well, Tech today, triple option offense. Would you just pound the rock to keep them off the field?
Yeah, listen, you want to keep them off the field, but I think we do it without losing our identity.
Okay.
We are a balanced football team. There's Tech defense susceptible to opposing offenses throwing the football. They're averaging against them 223 yards in the air against an offense or against offenses that don't throw the football as well as we do. I expect us to be balanced, still trying to control the clock, still owning the tempo of the game. And if we get a commanding lead like we've seen over the past couple of seasons, then we just go into that pound and ground type game and type mentality where we really own the clock. But I wouldn't see us moving away from how we attack every defense that we play.
All right, very good. Thank you, Eric. That's Eric Zier. He never lost to Tech. 4 years, baby. For his sweep. Should bring a sweep for the last one.
A sweep now.
Yeah, no, that's very good. As a proud sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs, Napa Auto Parts can help your ride and your tailgate party go the distance. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. When it comes to head-to-head with our neighbors from the West, the Dogs dominate. UGA has won 7 of the last 9 and 14 of the last 17 meetings with the North Avenue Trade School. We're going to whip them again today. Coach Kirby Smart joins us 3 times for exclusive insight between now and kickoff exclusively on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Get ready for a meal to remember, because Kroger is here to help you save on an amazing spread for your Thanksgiving feast. Enjoy low prices on the perfect turkey or ham, delicious produce that's always fresh, plus delightful desserts from the bakery. And save on everything you need to celebrate the season deliciously. That's how you holiday.
Kroger brand frozen turkeys are 59 cents a pound. Limit 2 with additional $25 purchase. And sweet potatoes are 39 cents a pound with card. Now at Kroger.
Anyone can deliver a box of groceries, but when you consider the source, only Kroger can bring you the fresh, delicious food and quality products you already know and love. And no matter how you like to get your groceries, Kroger makes it easy with store pickup, delivery, and now you can have your order shipped right to your door. So now it's easier than ever to check out while you're chilling when you shop online with the Kroger app or at Kroger.com today.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
In football, a triple threat is a player who can do it all. For barbecue, Dreamland is a triple threat. You can dine in, carry out, or let us cater your next event. For the ultimate tailgating experience, nothing beats a rack of legendary Dreamland ribs with your favorite sides. If you got a taste for winning, treat your team to Dreamland. There ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. A proud supporter of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Indeed knows finding the right hire takes time away from your business.
Hiring a qualified data engineer felt like a second job.
More job seekers use Indeed than any other site, so there's no better place to find someone with the skills you're looking for.
I needed someone with a master's in computer science and database experience.
Plus, Indeed screener questions help you find your shortlist fast.
Now I'm back to having just one job.
See why more than 3 million companies worldwide use Indeed to hire. Post your job at Indeed.com/hire. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Source ComScore total visits.
You're listening to Dogs Football. Now back to more of the Napa Tailgate Show.
This moment of commitment is brought to you by Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Always the home team. The University of Georgia is committed to expanding economic prosperity across the state. We partner with farmers, help small businesses grow, and turn our citizens' ideas into innovations. Through industry support, public service and outreach, and educating tomorrow's leaders, we create a $5.7 billion annual economic impact in Georgia. And we're just getting started. The University of Georgia enhances the quality of life for the people of this state. It's more than our mission. It's more than our passion. It's our commitment.
Fromm in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to throw, looking, left side throw. He's got a man. Tyler Simmons caught on the sideline at the 50, at the 40, race to the end zone, 20, 10, they won't catch him. Touchdown, Tyler Simmons. He's in the end zone for the second time in the game.
Tyler Simmons with the TD. Jake Fromm, 5 for 5 passing and limited action last week, and Scott Howard with the call. That was today's Make the Call, presented by Ken Nugent. One call, that's all. Good morning and welcome back to Breakfast with the Bulldogs on the Napa Tailgate Show. As we mentioned, the voice of the Dogs, Scott Howard, well, he's back on the air with us again. And you, sir, have had a busy schedule. Let me see if I get this straight. Basketball last Friday, football Saturday, both in Athens. Then the Grand Caymans for 3 days of basketball. Now back between the hedges today. How was Thanksgiving turkey down there in the Caribbean, Mon?
What day is it?
Yeah, I bet.
Well,
yeah, if it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium, right?
Our Thanksgiving was spinning an airport. We didn't even get a turkey dinner. I didn't go with the team. I went with my family. So we traveled separately, and we ended up eating at a restaurant in the Fort Lauderdale airport, waiting to change planes. So there was no big turkey dinner. We're still waiting on ours, so hopefully, maybe we can do something after today. But, yeah, it's been a busy week, but a fun week, and hopefully a big capper today with a good performance by Georgia.
Yeah, we sure hope so. Georgia today going to try to stop the nation's leading rushing offense. Georgia Tech and its triple option attack averages 354 ground yards per outing. We only get 1 week to prep for it, and that's not much time.
Really hard. Scout team's got probably the toughest job because they set the tone for the picture we get. So we have GAs and guys that are allowed to work with the players that all year they rep their plays so that when the week comes, we're a little better at presenting it.
So, Scott, for 1 week, Georgia tosses aside convention and prepares for this peculiar attack of the Jackets.
Yes, it definitely is unconventional, and Kirby told me yesterday that we don't have any defensive calls for this game, in this game that we use during the rest of the season. So it's, every other week you're preparing for things that you see on a regular basis, and this is certainly the sore thumb on the schedule when at least defensively, trying to prepare for Georgia Tech's offense. It's a situation where Georgia has to be physical. You have to make tackles. You have to make tackles in space. You have to make tackles one-on-one. You have to mind your assignment, or else if you don't do any one of those things, you can get burned big time.
Well, last year, Coach Smart made mention that for limited selected periods during the regular season, he had allotted time for the Georgia defense to see cut blocks, see some triple option work. The goal was not to reach the Tech game in the season's final week without even a whisper of preparation. Well, now that comment left some with the impression that Georgia puts in special time every week of the season to prepare for the Jackets' triple option.
We didn't do it every day of the week last year, and we didn't do that this year, but we certainly had off week preseason camp, and we also worked on some Mondays, about the same amount we did last year, but difference is more who you're doing it with. And last year we were doing it with guys that had a lot more carryover. This year it's been new for a lot of guys.
And the way Kirby explained it to me is that the scout team does a lot more of this work than the frontline guys on a regular basis. Now, they do work on it. I mean, as he just pointed out, they work on it in the off season. They work on it on some off weeks. They work on it on some Mondays. So like you said, so they're not getting to this week in the schedule and then trying to scramble and get a game plan together and prepare for this in a couple of days on the field. So it's a kind of a year-long process, even though it's not every day. But they work on it and they get ready for it, and hopefully, all their work comes to fruition on game day.
Monty Rice, we got to see him today.
No, we are not going to see Monty today, unfortunately, and that's a big loss. Middle linebacker on defense against this offense is a very important position. Monty's one of our best tacklers. That's a big loss today.
Any other injuries updates you can give us?
I was told Kendall Baker will be out on the offensive line. I was told Cade Mays is questionable. Ben Cleveland still trying to recover from – he had an ankle injury on top of recovering from his leg injury. Now, he's been playing on that punch shield a little bit, so he may still be able to do that. I'm not sure if we'll see him on the line of scrimmage. Kirby hoped he would be able to do that, but couldn't give me a definitive answer. Walter Grant had a bit of an ankle problem. I think he's probable. That may be about everybody, but, they're going to try to get everybody ready to go. Who can be, and I think just for certain, Baker and Rice are the ones that are definitely out.
All right, very good. Thank you, Scott. Scott Howard will have the call for you just after noon, and as if the Jackets' offense isn't enough of a problem, their freshman kicker just won ACC Player of the Week for special teams. Hall of Famer Kevin Butler joins us next to discuss the kicking game on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and I'm here with former Bulldog quarterback and radio host Buck Bellew.
Ken's going to donate $500 to 2 members of the military every Bulldogs football game this season.
If you're a member of the military, go to attorneykennugent.com to enter.
And 2 people are going to win $500 every game.
1 click.
That's it.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN, 1355 Peachtree Street Northeast, Suite 1000, Atlanta, Georgia 30309.
Nothing like Toyotathon, Gary. Seeing people come together and get the best deals of the year.
But what happens after January 2nd when all the best deals are gone?
Live in the now, Gary. Live in the now.
Lease a new 2018 Toyota RAV4 XLE for $219 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through January 2nd, 2019. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit from Southeast Toyota Finance. 3218 due at signing. No security deposit. With select equipment. $350 disposition fee excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fee. See dealer for details.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Napa know-how.
You're there every game, same time, same spot, sporting your team's gear and flipping burgers like the diehard fanatic that you are. And while every vehicle at the tailgate deserves quality parts and Napa know-how, none deserve it more than yours, the perennial tailgate champion. And with Napa know-how, you and your ride can go the distance. Quality parts, helpful people, and proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
Nobody likes unwanted guests in their home. And we're not talking Gamecocks, Tigers, or volunteers. Neil Hondo Williamson here, talking about those critters in our attics. Breda Pest Management gets the rats, mice, squirrels, and bats out of your attic for good. Under the Breda Guarantee, it's covered. All the critter waste, cleanup, covered. If they chew a new way into your home, under the Breda Warranty, it's covered. Breda Pest Management. BREDA Pest.com.
Perfect way to begin your Georgia football Saturday.
Kick is blocked! The kick is blocked! It's no good! It's no good!
Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show.
Ryan Sanderson holds and Parkman tries a field goal. Good! Cannon Parkman hit one with 47 seconds. Sanderson holding and Cannon Parkman hit a knuckleball through, not end over end. Cannon Parkman just struck a long field goal on 4th down, and the Dogs take a lead 18-17.
Kevin, you were in the NFL when Cannon knocked that flutter ball through against Tech. Do you remember, it was a Saturday day before you played, do you remember whether or not you were able to watch that game or see that kick?
You know what? I always had to call my parents to find out. It was kind of torture playing for the Bears at that time because there was nothing but like Indiana versus Michigan State or something. So, no, I always kept up with it, but, no matter how it looked, it went through.
Yeah, a great memory from 1995. I'll never forget Ray Goff jumping out of his skin, man, after that ball went through.
It's always good to beat Tech.
It's always good. And I love to share these two posts. I'm going to share them with you. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show, by the way. I want to share these two posts with you. I found them on a site called Sting Talk, and it was apparently once populated by techies. The first one said, quote, Cannon Parkman ruined my freshman year. Burn in hell. I hate the University of Georgia so much. And then the second one was this. Their last drive took about 9 minutes, I think. It was a slow and horrible death. Cannon Parkman's kick still gives me nightmares. Just reading those makes my year every year at Thanksgiving. Isn't that fun?
Well, it made mine this year, so I'm very happy that I know that now because as a kicker, that's the kind of joy you want to bring to your opponent.
Oh boy. Okay, anyway, God bless you, Cannon, wherever you are, and you just made our day again. Allstate sponsors this look at the Bulldogs kicking game with Kevin Butler. Allstate, are you in good hands? And Kevin, Georgia Tech freshman kicker Wesley Wells, he was acknowledged as the ACC Special Teams Player of the Week this past week. He had 4 field goals and a 30-27 overtime win over Virginia last Saturday. What can you tell us about him and the Jackets special teams?
Well, Wells is from the Atlanta area, and I think Atlanta area certainly puts out a lot of great place kickers, and Tech's got him a good one. I think last week his field goals from 28, then the 48-yarder with just a minute left. In regulation, then he comes back in OT and hits a 40-yarder. What I can tell you about is he's a seasoned veteran now, no matter what he is. He's those are big kicks at a big time for Georgia Tech. So, you hope it doesn't come down to that. But if it does, I think Georgia Tech's got some confidence, much like Georgia with Rodrigo. Both of these kids are doing the job that they need to do for their team right now, and respectively, both of them are getting that respect.
Speaking of Rodrigo, last week it was a little interesting, some of our kickoff choices early in the game against UMass. And when you and I did the talk show on Tuesday night, you seemed to imply that perhaps those were not only purposeful, that the team was doing that, which we all figured, anybody who had a brain figured that was going on, but maybe to wake up the coverage team a little bit?
Well, I think wake up, I think test them. I think that's something when you get into the games that we're going to get into, you might see a little bit more aggressive action from teams when you're kicking off to them because they need to make a big play or it's, there's a couple of more games and you're playing for something big, whether it's a better bowl game or a championship. And sometimes you need a play. So I think that's kind of getting that kicking team just stay focused, and they do a great job, to be honest with you. And one was tackled at the 17. I think that builds confidence. So when somebody does bring it out, I think our guys are going to be confident, and Coach Smart keeps them awake on that sideline.
I'm sure he does. Okay, KB, thanks a bunch. Kevin Butler joining us. Happy Thanksgiving to the Bulldog Nation from all of us here on the network, and hopefully you loaded up with good eats on Thursday because it's almost time to kick the stuffing out of Georgia Tech today.
I like that.
Thank you. We'll return with Eric Zier in 2 minutes on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Napa know-how. You're there every game. Same time, same spot, sporting your team's gear and flipping burgers like the diehard fanatic that you are. And while every vehicle at the tailgate deserves quality parts and Napa know-how, none deserve it more than yours, the perennial tailgate champion. And with Napa know-how, you and your ride can go the distance. Quality parts, helpful people, and proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
When you look around, you might feel pride is in short supply these days. Everything's being disrupted. But Ford has been around for 115 years, and we know the only constant is change. So, disruption? Yeah, it's what we do every day. You see, we still take pride in what we build and how we build. We even take pride in taking pride. And the world could use more of that right now. Because if you don't believe in what you're doing, why do it at all? Build Ford proud.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey Dog fans, we're Bulldogs Tailgate Club, where your pregame is our game time. Prepping your tailgate is hard work, but we've got the solution. We set it up, we take it down, you take it easy. Pretty awesome, right? And did we mention a great space in Reed Quad next to Sanford Stadium? Visit BulldogsTailgateClub.com to reserve your tailgate today. Bulldogs Tailgate Club, prime location, no frustration.
An EasyGo vehicle is more than just a golf car, it's a life car. Made to help you make the most out of every minute. Whether you're dropping the kids off at the practice field or cruising around the neighborhood tailgate party, EasyGo vehicles are made for life and all the fun that comes with it. Test drive an EasyGo vehicle at Fat Boys Golf Carts at 116 Commerce Road in Athens.
This is Georgia Bulldogs football.
35-30, he's got a convoy, he's got to go, touchdown!
Now back to more of the Napa Tailgate Show.
Fromm under center, everybody's in tight, Harriet in the backfield. Handoff Cook around the right edge with blockers. Cook 20, Cook 15, 10, 5, Cook into the house! James Cook with a touchdown!
James Cook blowing up UMass last week with 2 touchdown scampers and 76 rushing yards on just 3 carries. Tech in town today for the 111th meeting of state rivals as we close out the regular season. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network. ...2016, Tech rolled in here. Cocksure ranked 16th in the nation. Georgia was unranked. We'll share a scintillating last-minute Larry Munson highlight from the Bulldogs' upset victory that day, just a few minutes away on the Napa Tailgate Show. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Scott Howard, Jay Black, Tony Schiavone, Eric Zier, Neil Honda Williamson, and down between the hedges, it's our Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Thank you, Neil. We now take a moment to remember former Georgia player and loyal alumnus Tommy Paris,
Jr. of Gainesville, who passed away unexpectedly earlier this week. His father, Thomas Parrish Sr., was an outstanding Georgia player and a longtime member of the athletic board. Tommy Jr. lettered for Coach Butts and was a teammate of Fran Tarkenton and Pat Dye. An active volunteer in Gainesville, a very successful businessman. And his son, Trey, has been very active in alumni duties and activities for years. So, Greg, we extend our sympathy to Tommy's family, his son, Trey, his widow, Alice, and I know you were a good friend of Tommy's and appreciate the loyalty of the Parrish family.
Well, they've been a part of the University of Georgia and athletics as well for decades, and we're just so sorry for his passing, and our thoughts and prayers are with Trey and the family and everyone, but the Parrish family has just been tremendous to the University of Georgia.
Well, Greg, today, moving into the direction of focusing on the game, still a little misty here, but I think you have a weather update. Is it going to be sunshine eventually?
Absolutely, Lauren. It could be worse. You know, somebody told me it's colder here than it is in Columbus, Ohio this morning. But no, I think the weather's going to clear the longer the day goes. So certainly it's going to be a great day here in Sanford Stadium. The field looks great. Everybody's ready to go, and it should be a great day of football. And
we really, you can't help but to feel for the tailgaters. They put so much into it. So the game and the team comes first, but after that, the tailgaters, I'm disappointed for them. How about you?
Well, it's a little bit less than what we would see on a normal Saturday, but I think also a 12 noon start maybe curtails some of the tailgating. So our fans have been great all year, Lauren. They have supported us regardless of what time the game is, and I expect there to be tremendous support today, and have a good feeling that our students will come back to campus after a week-long vacation and support our team this day.
You have a special memory of the Tech game. You grew up under the influence of Dan McGill, and he considered this the most important game on the schedule. I think most Georgia fans, if they got any age, got any gray hair like me and you, still consider this the most important game.
Well, anyone that spent any time around Dan McGill knows that there's only one big rival for the University of Georgia, and that's Georgia Tech. So growing up in the days where Dan McGill and Ned West would kind of needle each other in the press box and kind of go back and forth, I remember those times, but, you know, I just remember every game's just a knockdown, drag out. So I think you'll have that today, and I think our guys are ready to play. Kirby's done a great job all year getting our young men ready to play regardless of who the opponent is. And, you know, we'll have our hands full today, but going to have a great day in Sanford Stadium today, Lauren.
All right, thanks for joining us, Greg McGarity. We go back up to Neil Williamson.
All right, thank you, Lauren. Thanks, Greg. Coach Smart joins us in about 30 minutes for an exclusive scouting report of today's battle between the hedges. Eric Zier is standing by. He'll give us his desires for today's game between your 5th-ranked Bulldogs and 7-4 Georgia Tech. And before we head to break, a goosebump-raising highlight from the 2006 Georgia Tech nail-biter. Tech was ranked number 16 and led 12-7 midway through the 4th quarter between the hedges. Unranked Georgia fielded a freshman quarterback named Stafford, who in the waning minutes of that final period led the Dogs on a grueling 6-minute, 45-second drive covering 11 plays down to the Jackets' 4-yard line. Here's Larry Munson from the edge of his metal chair.
We got 4 receivers out wide. Stafford retreats, looks, pumps, throw. Touchdown! 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 My God, a touchdown! 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 Massacre!
Scana Energy is a proud partner of UGA football, and every Dogs fan deserves to save money. Get fired up about our low natural gas rates and switch to Scana Energy by calling 877-GO-SCANA or visiting scanaenergy.com. Between the hedges and beyond, Scana Energy is a winning play. Call 877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com to start saving on your natural gas today.
Recruiting is a vital part of team building. Recruiting also plays an important role in protecting my home from termites. With Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system, termites eat the bait in the Centricon stations, then eagerly recruit other termites to also feed on the bait, thus eliminating the termite colony. Discover how affordable it is to protect your home. Call Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie. Cook's Pest Control.
control.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey Bulldog fans, with Aaron's, having what you want is much easier than you think. Because now you can lease to own all the brands you love in furniture, electronics, and appliances. Yes, all those things you've always dreamed of. At Aaron's, you don't need credit, and you have flexible payment options so you can pay little by little until you own it. Plus, delivery and setup are free, so you can just focus on enjoying. Visit us in-store or at aarons.com and discover for yourself how easy it is to have what you want. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Join us Thursday nights for Bulldogs Live. Starting at 7 here from Bulldogs head coach Kirby Smart.
They want to play the game with passion and energy just like I want to coach the game with passion and energy.
And at 8, it's Hondo and the Bulldog All-Stars with Neil Williamson and former Georgia Stars breaking down the Dogs.
What a terrific win by the Dogs.
Bulldogs Live Thursday nights at 7 on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Setting the table for Dogs football.
Bounces out right, still running. 10, 5, pylon, touchdown!
You're listening to the Napa Tailgate Show.
Hartman goes in motion left, play fake Fields. He throws. He's hit as he throws, but he gets it in the end zone. Touchdown on a slant. Riley Ridley caught it, standing up in the end zone for the touchdown.
Georgia's 701 yards in total offense last Saturday, second highest in Bulldogs history. You may have just heard some little Georgia fans having some fun because the dog walk has let out, and the fans are streaming across Tate Plaza right now here out in front of the bookstore. We're sitting on the SCANA stage, and so glad that you've joined us. Well, let's see now. We're going to take a look at the Comcast Business Scoreboard, which is easy because it's like 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning. There are no scores. But from last night, you had number 6 Oklahoma outlasting 9th-ranked West Virginia in Morgantown, 59-56 Sooners. Number 18 Washington defeated 8th-ranked Washington State, 28-15. Today, number 4 Michigan at Ohio State. That game's at noon. What else do you have? Auburn at Alabama is at 3:30. Tennessee plays at Vandy at 4. And tonight at 7 at South Carolina at Clemson at 7:30. Number 7 LSU at Texas A&M. This scoreboard update has been brought to you by Comcast Business Beyond Fast. Our Napa Tailgate Show continues. Here's that young man who went undefeated against the Yellow Jackets in 4 tries. Eric Zier, what are your desires for today, Z?
Well, first, as we say every year, disciplined assignment football. As Georgia Tech offense, if they get a crease on any given play, they can take it to the house. Can't allow that to happen because of undisciplined play. Next, eliminate explosive plays, especially in the weather conditions that we've got today. It is wet. It is dreary. If you force Georgia Tech to drive the length of the field, they've already put the ball on the ground 30 times this year. You make them drive the field, the ball will get on the ground. We have a chance for some easy pickups and turnovers. We have to win on first down as well. If you can force Georgia Tech to throw the football, you're going to be in good shape. And then finally, start fast today. It's an early start. There's not a ton of energy right now, but if we can create our own energy, it's going to bode well. Don't give this Georgia Tech team that is starting to believe in themselves any chance to believe in themselves today.
All right, thank you very good. That's Eric Zier. We'll have Coach Kirby Smart with an exclusive scouting report of Georgia versus Georgia Tech. That's coming up in the next 20 minutes. Stay with us. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hear whatever you love, wherever you love to listen. For a limited time, SiriusXM is available free through November 26th. Listen free on your inactive satellite radio, online, and on the SiriusXM app. Hear college sports coverage on SiriusXM SEC Radio, plus commercial-free music in addition to comedy, talk, news, and more anywhere you go. Don't miss out. Listen in the car, on the go, and bring us home for free now through November 26th. Some older Sirius satellite radios may not be capable of receiving the free listening channels.
Dedication, attention to detail, and going above and beyond. Your Bulldogs count on these qualities to get their game plan right. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans also counts on them to get your mortgage right. With our exclusive rate shield approval, we protect you from unpredictable interest rates. It's just one of the reasons we're America's largest mortgage lender. Proud mortgage partner of Georgia Athletics. Call today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Based on Quicken Loans data in comparison to public data records. Racial approval only valid on certain 30-year purchase transactions.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Nick's driving through a nasty storm and counting down the minutes until he gets to his in-laws.
We're here.
But one thing he didn't count on, being there an extra day because he didn't test his car battery.
Oh, no.
Think ahead. Think advance. At any time, 1 in 4 batteries is about to fail. Get free battery testing plus batteries that deliver more performance and starting power in extreme conditions starting at $79.99 with free installation. Only at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Holiday Inn Express wants to let you in on a little secret. You can now get at least 25% off at holidayInnExpress.com during our cyber sale. We'll even throw in free breakfast. Just kidding. Breakfast is always included in your stay at Holiday Inn Express. Book now and save at holidayInnExpress.com. Terms apply.
You're listening to Dogs Football. Now back to more of the Napa Tailgate Show.
And the Dogs will start on the 25 here in the shotgun. Gurley's in the game. And he gives it to Gurley. Gurley, big hole, 20, 15, 10, 5. Give me some end zone. Yeah! 25-yard run for Todd Gurley. And the Dogs have their first lead of the night in overtime number 2. It's 40-34.
2 overtimes, down 20-0 at one point. Todd Gurley and the Dogs stormed back in 2013 to knock off Georgia Tech at historic Grant Field. Great call there by Scott Howard. Terrific memory of stomping the Yellow Jackets. Well, each week we like to check where the Dogs rank. Hang on just a sec. Where the Dogs rank, presented by Northside Hospital. No movement again this week as Georgia holds on to the nation's number 5 spot in the latest college football poll. And it's time now for predictions. We have Scott up in the press box in the Larry Munson broadcast suite. Lauren and Eric Zier, your old buddy Hondo right here. And last week, everyone went 3-0 except for Z. You took a gamble. You were taking a gamble, trying to.
I've got a lot of ground to make up.
You have a lot of ground and not a whole lot of time because this is the last week.
This is not the last week. We've got SEC championship game.
You guys haven't decided that.
Potentially 2 bowl games.
Okay,
right?
Well,
Potentially
you three can vote right now. Okay, by the end of this segment, when you want this thing to end.
At the last game of the year.
The last game. Okay, Lauren, what do you say?
I'm looking forward to not having to rack my brain on how I'm going to figure.
He says the last game too. He says the last game as well.
Last game.
Last game. Okay, Scott, you're outvoted no matter what you say because my vote doesn't count.
I'm rolling anyway. I don't care.
You're rolling anyway. And if I say anything, Zaire's going to say I cheated. So that's okay. All right, very good. Lauren now trails Eric by a single game in the standings, and Scott is killing all of the rest of us. Let's go to this week's predictions. Scott, start us out. Number 4, Michigan at 10th ranked Ohio State.
I'm going to go with the Wolverines in this one. I don't think Ohio State has the defense for Michigan today, so I think Michigan wins this ballgame.
Yeah, I think that Ohio State has a chance to show the nation that the blowout to Purdue and the close losses close wins over Maryland and Nebraska were just flukes, but they won't. Harbaugh has a much better grip on his team. Wolverines win. See?
I agree with everything that you're saying. They're playing at Ohio State, though. I think somehow, some way, Ohio State steps up and wins, and I need them to because all that ground that I've got to make up, it only happens if they do.
Yes, sir.
I'm picking Oklahoma.
Good choice. 59-56 last night. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'll go with Michigan. I can't vote against my friend Jim Harbaugh.
All right, very good. Lauren, we'll let you, first of all, Marshall at Florida International. I'm going to guess all 3 of you guys know the nickname for Marshall.
Yes.
Thundering Herd.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Anybody know the nickname for Florida International?
I think they're the Owls, aren't they?
Nope.
Got no idea.
Scott?
They are the Lance Kiffins.
I had to look it up. They're the
Panthers?
The Golden Panthers. Very good, sir. Very good. Florida International. Total enrollment, 55,000 students there. Fourth largest in the country. It's a commuter college. Butch Davis is their coach. And who do we like in that game, Lauren?
Oklahoma. No, I'm going to take Florida International. Butch has done a good job getting that program moving upward, and I think he'll win today.
Z?
Yeah, I'm right there with him, Florida International.
All right, I'm going with the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, I'm going with Marshall, and I was thinking that this was Kiffin's team, but he's at Florida Atlantic. FIU is, I know nothing about them, so I'm going to take Marshall.
Yeah, I can't tell any of those Florida teams apart anymore. Anyway, LSU at Texas A&M. I'll go with the Bayou Bengals. Scott?
It's back and forth on this one. I can't go away from Texas A&M at home. I think LSU's the better team, but I think A&M might pull an upset on their home field.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. We saw LSU up close and personal. They've got a dynamic defensive front, dynamic secondary, and efficient enough on the offensive side of the ball that I think they win. LSU.
A&M.
A&M, okay. And finally, Tennessee at Vanderbilt. Winner gets a bowl berth. Loser gets an early tee time next Saturday at their favorite municipal golf course. All I'm going to say is go Doors. I'm begging you. Keep Tennessee out of a bowl.
Well, I'd love to. No, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
No,
Mrs. Zyer wouldn't be happy.
She's
with
probably
you.
listening right now. I like Tennessee.
Sleeping on the couch, buddy.
To blow out Vandy. Tennessee wins big.
Lauren?
I think Tennessee will win.
All right.
I really like me some Keyshawn Vaughn in that black and gold for Vanderbilt. And, hideous orange never looks good, so I'm going with Vanderbilt.
All right, thank you very much. Great crowd out here at the great crowd out here at our tailgate show. And so glad that you've joined us for the Napa Tailgate Show. Our proud sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs is Napa Auto Parts, and they can help your ride and your tailgate party go the distance. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Stay with us. We have Coach Kirby Smart. He'll join us. Is that next, Jay? Nope, 10 minutes away. Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and I'm here with former Bulldog quarterback and radio host Buck Bellew.
Ken's going to donate $500 to 2 members of the military every Bulldogs football game this season.
If you're a member of the military, go to attorneykennugent.com to enter.
And 2 people are going to win $500 every game.
1 click.
That's it.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN, 1355 Peachtree Street Northeast, Suite 1000, Atlanta, Georgia 30309.
Building Atlanta to compete on the world stage is what we do at IBEW 613. We are the members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 613. It's important to builders to know why we do what we do. Sure, we're the best electricians. We train 10,000 hours to be the best. But more importantly, we take pride in our work. To be the best, hire the best. Check us out at IBEW613.org or search IBEW 613.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
When the deadline clock is ticking, an unreliable network can cost your business money. That's why you need Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast with the complete reliability of 4G LTE backup, which means that even if something like construction accidentally knocks out the power, you can still upload that big presentation, email important clients, invoice customers, and not take a hit to your company's bottom line. For a limited time, switch to Comcast Business and get an amazing deal on fast, reliable internet. Get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines. Just one more way Comcast Business goes beyond other providers. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 12/31/18. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra subject to change. Connection Pro backup limited to up to 6 hours and requires Comcast Business Internet.
Perfect way to begin your Georgia football Saturday.
Kick is blocked! The kick is blocked! It's no good! It's no good!
Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show.
play fake Fields. He's off running this way. 45-50, 45-40, near sideline, 35-30. Fields hit from behind and tackled down after a long run near the UMass 20-yard line, chased down by Lee Moses.
All right, Justin Fields named SEC Freshman of the Week for his sizzling performance last week against UMass, including that 47-yard gallop that you just heard. Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show. We're broadcasting from the SCANA stage. Got a great crowd out here with us today. Everybody's fired up for Tech in Georgia, but nobody more so. Did you see him running earlier, just trying to work the energy off? Lauren Smith just running laps back and forth before the game here on the plaza. Take it away, Lauren.
Yes, I looked like Eric Zaire running for his life when the offensive line broke down. Delighted to have an opportunity to talk to a courageous young girl named Georgia, graduate of Georgia, and we're Georgia Wilson. We're just so happy to hear her message. She has a rare bone cancer, Neil and Eric, and she has let the Bulldogs and their way of doing things, their fighting spirit, help her in her fight with cancer. Georgia, how did you become such a good Georgia fan? You were appropriately named, of course, but how did you become such a dog fan?
Yes, sir. My dad was class of 81, and he named me after the University of Georgia. And so I have been a Bulldog since the day I was born, and I was raised right, as you well know. So have been attending dog games since the year I was born. I'm a September baby, and so being a dog is just in my DNA.
Well, you majored in genetics, and tell us something about your activities now. You're doing really well. Have you lived in you live in Athens? Do you not?
Yes, sir. I still live in Athens. It's been a great, I guess, 5th year away to see an extra football season for me. I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, as you said, a rare form of bone cancer, in June of this year. And my physicians advised me to be in the town, in the city that gave me the most joy, in which I had the most support. And Athens is my home, as I've been an undergrad for the last 4 years, and have a friend and family and network in Bulldog Nation to support me. And so I chose Athens to be my home base for treatment. So it has been a joy, and you know, they say mental toughness is just as
Go ahead and wrap up, Lauren.
So I'm grateful to the Bulldog Nation.
Well, one more question quickly. You say that the Georgia football team, the football players, are helping you cope with your challenge. Explain that.
Yes, sir. The football team reached out to me early this season, and I have gotten to go and see practice and visit the team and meet with Kirby. And I've gotten to interact with some of these guys, and they have helped me in my spirit so much, and they have such a fighting spirit, and the dogs are such warriors that it has helped me to have that same mentality. And it's a back and forth mojo. I send them messages almost every week, videos and text messages and phone calls with the guys that get played all over, and then they in turn do the same for me on the field on Saturday.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for that inspiring message. And I think there are a lot of cancer survivor patients out there. We know your disease is curable, and we wish you the very best. And Neil, I've always heard, and I think it's probably true, having had a similar experience, a positive attitude is very healthy.
Yep, very good,
Yes,
Lauren.
sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Georgia.
All right. Thank you,
Go
Lauren,
Dogs.
another cancer survivor. Thank you, Georgia. Go Dogs, indeed. And Dogs fans, check out this newest sideline gear from Nike at the UGA bookstore. Today, we picked up a full zip jacket, black one, just like the coaches wear. It's the perfect weight for this time of year. Shop the UGA bookstore before or after the game and check out the largest selection of UGA gear from Nike, Peter Millar, Tommy Bahama, 47 brand, and many more. And always stop stop by the bookstore on game day for some great autographs. We've got Coach Dooley and John Theus in there signing right now until 11 o'clock today. And if you can't make it here, you can always shop the UGA bookstore online 24/7 at UGAbookstore.com. The UGA bookstore, it's where the dogs shop. Georgia leads the series with Tech at 66 wins, 39 losses, 5 ties. Kirby Smart was 3-1 against the Jackets as a player, and we will talk to Coach Smart with an exclusive scouting report of today's game 2 minutes from Mark.
Hi, Bulldogs. My name is Rachel Cohen and Haley Rubin from Atlanta, Georgia, and we're sophomores at the Weber School.
The Tailgate Show will continue after these messages on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hi, Georgia fans. I'm Scott Howard here for UPS. Your customers want more from your business. You've got to make more happen, whether they're in Athens, Georgia, or on the other side of the world. Globally or locally, UPS is building solutions to help businesses give their customers exactly what they want. More. Made easy. UPS, official logistics company of Georgia Athletics.
Coach Kirby Smart here. Let's talk about the official healthcare provider of the Georgia Bulldogs, Piedmont Healthcare. Piedmont makes sure that our dogs are playing their best, and they're also there for the times they're not. But you don't have to be a college athlete to get bumps and bruises. With urgent care, same-day appointments, virtual visits from your smartphone or desktop, and Piedmont Quick Care at Walgreens, they've got the care you need when you need it. Booking an appointment is only a click away. So for game day and every day, get better at piedmont.org/UGA.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Get ready for a meal to remember, because Kroger is here to help you save on an amazing spread for your Thanksgiving feast. Enjoy low prices on the perfect turkey or ham, delicious produce that's always fresh, plus delightful desserts from the bakery. And save on everything you need to celebrate the season deliciously. That's how you holiday.
Kroger brand frozen turkeys are 59 cents a pound. Limit 2 with additional $25 purchase. And sweet potatoes are 39 cents a pound with card. Now at Kroger.
Anyone can deliver a box of groceries, but when you consider the source, only Kroger can bring you the fresh, delicious food and quality products you already know and love. And no matter how you like to get your groceries, Kroger makes it easy with store pickup, delivery, and now you can have your order shipped right to your door. So now it's easier than ever to check out while you're chilling when you shop online with the Kroger app or at Kroger.com today.
This is Georgia Bulldogs football.
35-30. He's got a convoy. He's got to go. Touchdown.
Now back to more of the Napa Tailgate Show.
Shotgun snap. Oh, pressure and sacks. J.R. Reed on a blitz. Clobbered him from the left edge. Welcome back to the Bulldogs Tailgate Show. It's time for our scouting report with Coach Kirby Smart. It's brought to you by ServPro Fire and Water Cleanup and Restoration to help make damage like it never even happened. Getting ready for Georgia and Georgia Tech. We're with Coach Kirby Smart as we take a look at the Yellow Jackets today. Coach, tell us your thoughts on this team. You know they're going to run it a lot. About 90% of the time their offense runs the football. Your thoughts on their personnel and your preparation for this game?
Well, they do a great job. Paul's been doing this offense for a long time. He understands the ins and outs of it. He knows the weaknesses of defenses, and he knows he goes into some games outmanned personnel-wise, but the option takes all that away because you don't have to block everybody. You get to read people, and they do a tremendous job at what they do. So we know the challenges it presents. We've seen it. We haven't seen it at the speed they do it, except when we play them, and we got to go out and play well.
How about the blocking techniques that you guys will face today from them? How much of a challenge is that? Kind of describe that process and what you guys expect to go through with that.
Yeah, it's a challenge. They have a lot of cut blocks. They got a lot of perimeter blocks. You got to do a great job defeating blocks. You got to have your eyes in the right place. You got to key the right things. You got to play with discipline. You've got to enjoy the challenge. You got to embrace the challenge. You've got to take it on head on, meet it in the middle, defeat it, and then go make plays. And that's what football's about.
Do you have to play any differently on defense as opposed to what you guys have been doing all year? Do you play this offense any differently, or is it still the same basic fundamentals?
No, it's completely different. We don't have any calls that we even carry into other games. We don't carry any of those calls into this game. There are no similarities. You have to align a certain way. You have to play a certain way. There's no you got to stay balanced, and they're always looking for numbers and grass, and you can't give them an advantage. If you give them one, they'll exploit it.
Will they use tempo a lot, or are you able to substitute freely more or less against these guys?
Yeah, they sub most plays, so if we want to sub, we certainly can. You want to have your best players on the field, but substitution should not be an issue.
Can you talk a little bit about their quarterbacks? They use both guys, certainly running the football.
Yeah, they both are runners. Obviously, they have as many yards as DeAndre Swift does, both of them. So there's like having two guys with 800 yards. Tobias has been a much more run than throw guy. Taquan is a good athlete that's thrown the ball and played in some big games. So they use both of them strengths well, and they're both good players.
How important is time of possession for you against a team like this today?
Well, I think the big thing is if we can possess the ball and score touchdowns, that's huge. That keeps them off the field. But they're thinking the exact same thing. So they want to possess the ball and score touchdowns and keep us off the field. So it's a battle of two wills. You got the number one ACC rushing team against the number one SEC rushing team. So it's a big challenge.
How frequently will they pass it, and what kind of a passing game do they have?
Well, the passing game for them is like a key breaker. So if you're not looking at the right things, they tend to have guys wide open, because if you don't look at the right thing, it can cost you. In most games, you play with an eraser back there that can fix mistakes. There are no erasers in this game. They're all keyed on the run. Everybody's trying to stop the run, so the pass has to be stopped by the people responsible for the pass, and that's where it gets into responsibility.
Both teams come into this game with 4-game winning streaks. Do you feel like you're playing at your best this season, and do you feel like Tech is also?
Yeah, I think both teams have improved throughout the year. You certainly look at what they've done. They've played better and better, and by that I mean they played better defense, better special teams, and they protected the ball well. They played well early. They just had a lot of turnovers, and when they get away from turnovers, they're pretty good.
You mentioned special teams. Final question. Do they do anything differently in special teams as far as their punting or any of their kick units?
They're really good at them. They rugby punt some to kick the ball away from returners, which we will probably see today with Miko back there. But, I mean, at the end of the day, special teams are special teams, and they do a good job with them.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck against these guys. We'll catch up with you later.
Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Kirby Smart. We've got Georgia and Georgia Tech coming up in just a little bit. Hondo, back to you for more of the Bulldogs Tailgate Show.
All right, thank you, Scott. Stay with us. Vintage Munson Herschel call from the Georgia Tech series is right around the corner.
Hi, Bulldogs. My name is Brody Huff from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm a third grader at Porter Gaud. The tailgating show will continue after these messages on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
When this is the sound of a crackling campfire on a cool evening, you can sit back and relax. But when it's the sound of your counters and cabinets smoking and smoldering following a house fire that's affected your entire kitchen, you need to pick up the phone and call 1-800-SERVPRO. Only the cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro can help make fire and water damage like it never even happened. So make the call to 1-800-SERVPRO when fire damage strikes. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and I'm here with former Bulldog quarterback and radio host Buck Bellew.
Ken's going to donate $500 to 2 members of the military every Bulldogs football game this season.
If you're a member of the military, go to attorneykennugent.com to enter.
And 2 people are going to win $500 every game.
One click.
That's it.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN, 1355 Peachtree Street Northeast, Suite 1000, Atlanta, Georgia 30309.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
The Walton Gas Champions for Charity game is on. That means every time the Dogs win a regular season game, Walton Gas will donate $1,000 to these local charities: Camp Twin Lakes, the Salvation Army, the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And for every bowl game the Dogs win, Walton Gas will donate $5,000. Everyone wins with Walton Gas. Always low rates, always great service. Put your game face on and be a champion for charity. Vote for the charity of your choice at waltongas.com/UGA.
Now
Napa know-how. You're there every game. Same time, same spot, sporting your team's gear and flipping burgers like the diehard fanatic that you are. And while every vehicle at the tailgate deserves quality parts and Napa know-how, none deserve it more than yours, the perennial tailgate champion. And with Napa know-how, you and your ride can go the distance. Quality parts, helpful people, and proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
Setting the table for Dogs football.
Bounces out right, still running. 10, 5, pylon, touchdown!
You're listening to the Napa Tailgate Show.
He ran over him. There he goes. Herschel's gone.
Joe will try to kick one 100,000 miles.
Dogs on top. We were gone. I gave up. You did too. Look at the sugar falling out of the sky.
Georgia football history through the voice of a legend. Here's another listen back to Larry Munson's Greatest Calls, presented by AT&T. AT&T is a proud sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing.
9:43, final game of the year in Sanford Stadium, and we are in a shootout with these guys. Jones wide in motion to the left. Try to run a draw with Herschel Walker. He drives off the tackle. 5 yards, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Herschel, there goes Herschel. Touchdown! He has just broken the all-time record for a freshman back, 64 or 65 yards. The stadium went bananas because there went Herschel again. A big dog offensive tackle. Jim Blake with a guard just shaking his fist at the heavens. Herschel Walker just burst off the tackle to make it 37-20.
Larry Munson from 1980. Herschel Walker suited up 3 times against the Yellow Jackets between 1980 and 1982. He carried the ball 88 times. He had 30 first downs, 592 yards, and 9 touchdowns and 3 wins against Georgia Tech. The average score of those 3 wins, Georgia 40, Georgia Tech 15. Oh, Herschel was special indeed. As a proud sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs, Napa Auto Parts can help your ride and your tailgate party go the distance. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Thanks for joining us today here for our Napa Tailgate Show, and the Jackets and the Dogs renewing the in-state rivalry. Coming up soon, how the Dogs should defend Tech's triple option. Plus, we'll have a list of Georgia players who have never lost a football game to Georgia Tech. That's all ahead with Eric Zier and our crew from the Scana stage in the next 30 minutes.
Hi, Bulldogs. My name is Ethan Bradford from Valdosta, Georgia. I'm a 6th grader at Georgia Christian School. The Tailgate Show will continue after these messages on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Of course you know that if your car battery's dead, you can reach for a AAA membership card to come to your rescue. But did you know that a AAA card has you covered with more than roadside assistance? Like with a cruise or vacation package, a savings account, discounts at thousands of locations, plus auto, home, and life insurance, free identity theft protection, and more. So get a AAA card and expect something more. To learn more, go to AAA.com or visit your local AAA office.
I'm John Addison, a lifetime Bulldog fan, Georgia graduate, and the chairman of distribution for Primerica, the largest independent financial services marketing company in North America. Primerica is a Main Street company for Main Street families. We help people from all walks of life achieve their goals and dreams by offering common sense financial solutions to today's challenges. As a Georgia-based company, Primerica is proud to continue to sponsor Georgia football. Go Dogs!
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hi, welcome to the Subway Simple 6 radio ad. How would you like to hear it?
From a game show host?
All right, let's play.
Thanks, Johnny. Tonight's contestants are playing for the fantastic Simple 6 menu. Their choice of 6 different 6-inch subs, chips, and a 21-ounce drink. With subs like the spicy Italian and Black Forest ham, this is one $6 deal that can't be beat. Subway, make it what you want.
At participating restaurants, additional charge for extras plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
Kubota's L2501 DT packs powerful performance into one easy-to-operate compact tractor. Designed for all-day operator comfort and easy use of implements, the L2501 DT makes mowing, digging, hauling, and lifting quick and simple. Now get payments as low as $135 a month with 0% APR financing for 84 months. Now through December 31st, 2018. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at GoKubota.com.
You're listening to Dogs Football. Now back to more of the Napa Tailgate Show.
3rd and 2 from the 3. They toss it to Godhigh. Left side. Oh, we eat him up. Back at the 6-yard line. Leonard Floyd took a ride on the back of the little guy and drove him back.
Yeah, 2013, Leonard Floyd. Remember that stop? Was that great?
Unbelievable. Need to see a lot more of them today.
Yeah, we do indeed. All right, Georgia rallying back from a 20-point deficit at historic Grant Field in 2013 to win the game. That was there in the double overtime, I guess, when Floyd stopped Godhigh, and then I think we had the PBU, the pass breakup, there on fourth down. Speaking of defense, let's talk a little defense with Eric Zier. It's hard to stop an opponent, presented by Train. It's hard to stop a train.
Defense, we really hadn't stopped them that well. We hadn't tackled well, not playing the run well. We got to do a better job.
That's Coach Smart at halftime last week after the Bulldogs had surrendered 206 first-half yards to the University of Massachusetts. Today, the Red and Black attempts to slow Georgia Tech's 354 yards rushing per game triple option offense.
If you make a mistake, he'll make you pay, or he'll expose you on it. Maybe the very next play, maybe the very next drive, but he knows what complements what. So for us, it's having the right eyes in the right place for our players' sake. And if we don't play something correctly, you better get it fixed quick.
One juke, one fake pitch can really mess you up, and one block that they get on the perimeter can set a runner 50, 60 yards down the field. So it's just that you have to be ready for anything that they can throw at you.
There's Georgia defensive end Jonathan Ledbetter, preceded by Coach Smart. See, to me, it feels like a rhythm with Tech. They get you for 5, then they get you for 8, they get you for 11, and boom, hit the big one. You got to keep them out of that rhythm.
Yeah, I'll tell you, no different than most offenses. When you can start to move the chains and you find a little bit of success, this is an offense that operates better when they do get into a rhythm, and they will just pick at you and pick at you and pick at you. And then if you have lack of discipline, not playing assignment football, your eye discipline is bad, all of a sudden that 5-yard gain turns into a 55-yard touchdown run. So no question, our ability today to make them drive the length of the field, especially in some sloppy conditions, going to be critically important. And then winning on first down to put Georgia Tech in positions where they're playing behind the chains, forcing them to have to throw the football at least a little bit more than they want to. Critically important for us to come out of here with a win today.
Well, speaking of throwing the football, Tech has used 2 QBs this season. Taquan Marshall has started all but one of their contests.
Both guys are extremely talented. I know both guys. We recruited Taquan at Alabama. He came to camp a lot of years. He's a competitive, tough. I think about the years he's been there and the toughness he's played with.
And that's Coach Kirby Smart talking about the 2 quarterbacks that Georgia Tech has played. Taquan Marshall has seen the majority of the snaps this year, or majority of the starts this year. He's played in 10 games. Tobias Oliver is the other quarterback. Both of them have seen an awful lot of time. Taquan Marshall's really secured the starting role, but Tobias Oliver has played in 10 games. He's second in the team rushing the football right now. He's got 808 yards running the football, so just a little bit behind Taquan. Both guys can hurt you, but they're going to use both guys more than likely throughout the course of the game. But look for Taquan Marshall to get the start and be the guy that's taking the snaps at the start of the game. He lost that job a couple of games ago, but he's reasserted himself here as the go-to guy.
He has cut blocks. A lot of people are going to hear those 2 words together today and may not exactly know what they mean quickly and simply.
Yeah, it's offensive linemen getting to the legs of the defender and trying to get you onto the ground. People hate it. You don't see it a whole lot outside of just in the trenches. But once you get outside that box, you can't do it now, but they've been known to do it historically. They want to get at your legs, and it drives guys crazy because they're always nipping at you.
Yeah, always. Very good. Lovely job describing that. Thank you, Z. That was today's defensive preview presented by Train. It's hard to stop a train. Eric Zier went 4 years without ever losing to Georgia Tech. In fact, in 1993, you opened that game with 15 consecutive completions. That must have been a lot of fun.
Indeed it was.
Eric, Scott Howard, Tony Schiavone join us in just a few minutes to talk about Georgia players who NLTT. Like Zier, they never lost to Tech. This is the Bulldog Sports Network.
When you are the official sponsor of the comeback, adding a few feet to a drive matters.
First down.
So does shaving a tenth of a second off a lap. Top-rated surgery, physical therapy, and motion analysis by the sports medicine team at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta helps young athletes not only prevent injuries, but heal faster and return stronger, ready to win. Our more than 25 orthopedic and sports medicine locations are ready to assist your athlete's comeback. To learn more, visit choa.org/sportsmed.
Get ready for kickoff at the UGA Bookstore, featuring the best Bulldog gifts and apparel. Shop all the great brands at the UGA Bookstore like Nike, Peter Millar, 47 brand, Tommy Bahama, Vineyard Vines, and Southern Tide. If it's red and black and you want it, they've got it at the UGA Bookstore in the heart of campus next to the Tate Student Center. Shop online 24/7 at UGABookstore.com. The UGA Bookstore, it's where dogs shop.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Have you ever felt like the big banks didn't have time for your business? At Piedmont Bank, you're exactly who we want to do business with. We're founded by a group of local business professionals who believe our community needs a bank committed to serving the needs of businesses and residents of our community. We believe banking is very much a people business, and we look forward to serving you. Experience the difference at Piedmont Bank. Visit us today at piedmont.bank.
The holidays. At BMW, we want to remind you of some excuses to enjoy the ride home a little longer. If you're in the all-new BMW X5 with the upgraded navigation within iDrive 7.0, consider the detour excuse.
Hey Dad, ran into construction. Gotta take a detour.
Make the most of the road home. Hurry in to the BMW Road Home sales event to receive exceptional offers on select models now through November 30th. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for great offers. Go Dogs!
Perfect way to begin your Georgia football Saturday.
Kick is blocked! The kick is blocked! It's no good! It's no good!
Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show.
This moment of commitment is brought to you by Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Always the home team. The University of Georgia is committed to expanding economic prosperity across the state. We partner with farmers, help small businesses grow, and turn our citizens' ideas into innovations. Through industry support, public service and outreach, and educating tomorrow's leaders, we create a $5.7 billion annual economic impact in Georgia. And we're just getting started. The University of Georgia enhances the quality of life for the people of this state. It's more than our mission. It's more than our passion. It's our commitment.
Tech shotgun. Reggie Ball takes it. He's back. He's circling to his right, and a man jumped in front of him. And Oliver intercepted the ball on the other side, our side of the 50. They went to Calvin Johnson deep. Oliver intercepted, my God, 61 seconds.
The late Paul Oliver with a huge interception, sealing the win for Georgia in 2006 between the hedges. Paul Oliver matched up against Megatron, Calvin Johnson that day. Calvin had 2 catches for 13 yards in Georgia's win. Time for the Bulldogs, in case you missed it, presented by Ambetter from Peach State Health Plan. Better is taking charge of my health. And in case you've missed it, we've done this in years past, and folks seem to enjoy it, and we certainly do. Each year, the Napa Tailgate team enjoys a short list. Let me repeat that. This is a short list of Bulldogs who NLTT, never lost to Tech. Scott Scott Howard, Eric Zier, Tony Schiavone are here to take you through the smattering of dogs who have never lost to Tech. And I'll start us out. Neither Paul Oliver nor Eric Zier ever lost to Georgia Tech.
Nor did the SEC's all-time leading passer, Aaron Murray, Rantavius Wooten, or Alec Ogletree.
Arthur Lynch, Bakari Rambo, Sean Williams never lost to Tech.
Neither did Mike Bobo or Tim Bobo, no relation, or Kwame Gaithers and Robert Gaithers, yes relation.
Bulldogs All-Star Talk Show host Jack Brock never lost to Tech. DJ Shockley beat him every time.
James Brown, Reggie Brown, Marlon Brown,
Thomas Brown, Flying Fred Brown, Norris Brown never lost to Tech.
Superstar NFL players Thomas Davis and Terrell Davis never lost to the Bees.
Neither did the greatest Bulldog of them all. Not Dan McGill, but Herschel Walker.
Nor Buck Bellew, Lindsey Scott, David Green, Fred Gibson.
Frank Ross, Chris Welton, Terry Hogue never lost to Tech.
Francis Tarkenton, Freddie Gilbert, Meat Cleaver Weaver, undefeated versus the Jackets.
David Pollock, Ben Watson, Greg Blue, none of those guys ever lost to Tech.
Bob Kelly, Steve Kelly, Gordon Telly,
Brad Johnson, Corey Johnson, Charles Johnson,
Keelan Johnson, Michael Johnson, Andy Johnson, but she doesn't has to call me Johnson. Even that guy, comedian Bill Saluga, never lost to Tech.
Clarence K, Dale Williams, Dale Carver
never lost to Tech.
DJ Jones, Brian Jones, Jarvis Jones, and Nick Jones.
Pat Dye, Jimmy Vickers, Charlie Britt.
Jake Scott, Happy Dix, Tommy Lawhorn beat the Jackets every single time.
Neither Larry Kahn in the 60s nor Dick Kahn in the 70s ever lost to Tech.
Kirby Moore, Bill Stanfield, Edgar Chandler.
The great General George Patton, Kent Lawrence, NLTT.
Never lost to Tech. Ronnie Jenkins, Billy Payne, Mark Stewart.
0 losses for any of these guys to the North Avenue Trade School.
Hines Ward, Bryce Hunter, Robert Edwards, Stan Dooley.
And dozens of my old teammates, including Brandon Tolbert, Adam Meadows, Philip Daniels, Travis Stroud, Randall Godfrey, Whit Marshall owned the Jackets.
Even kickers didn't lose to Tech. Gordon Ely Kelso, Bobby Etter, Brandon Coutu.
Let's add the punters, Dax Langley, Don Golden, Cannon Parkman, a kicker. Never lost to Tech.
Nate Taylor and Tony Taylor, Gene Tootle and Marvin Tootle never lost to the Ramblin' Wreck.
Our Scottish-Irish Bulldogs, Chris McCarthy, Chris McCraney, Brian McClendon,
Donnie McMickens, Rhett McGowan, Pat McShay, and Guy McIntyre.
All of them unbeaten versus the Bees.
We are not making this up. None of these Georgia players ever lost a varsity game to Georgia Tech.
And Scott, there are probably another 100 or more lettermen from Georgia who NLTT never lost to Tech.
And see, like we said, that's just the short list
of Bulldogs who went their entire varsity football careers without ever losing to the Yellow Jackets.
That is so much fun. And today our freshmen will begin their quest. Our sophomores pursue to finish their quest of never losing to Georgia Tech. And we have one final note for you, and it's a beaut. If Georgia Tech played this game of players who never lost to Georgia, how old would the youngest Tech player be? 80 years old is the youngest former Tech player who could say he never lost to Georgia. We just rattled off hundreds of them who never lost to Tech. So much fun. Georgia leads the all-time series against Tech, 66 wins, 39 losses, 5 ties. The Dogs gun for victory number 67 in the series in our 111th meeting today in just over an hour. Eric Zier helps us game plan for the Jackets in just a moment.
Hi, Bulldogs. My name is Robert Hunter from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in 5th grade at Westminster. The Tailgate Show will continue after these messages on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Inside the train testing facility, our heating and cooling products go through endless torture tests. We drop them, slam them against a wall, shake them, and then expect them to run without an extra decibel in our anechoic sound chamber. We test so it runs.
From now until December 31st, you can own the most reliable heating and cooling system with no interest if paid in full within 15 months. Visit traininfo.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Valid on qualifying train equipment, subject to credit approval.
It's hard to stop a train.
There's a common misconception that all chicken sandwiches from the South are the same. Cue Zaxby's new buttermilk and hand-breaded Southern Sweet and Smoky and Southern TLC chicken sandwiches. One has sweet pickles, lettuce, smoky backyard sauce, and a potato bun. The other, a perfected classic with lettuce, tomato, and mayo. Both served with crinkle fries in a 22-ounce tray. The Southern chicken sandwich will never be the same. Order ahead on Zaxby's.com or use our app to skip the wait. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
When the deadline clock is ticking, an unreliable network can cost your business money. That's why you need Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast with the complete reliability of 4G LTE backup, which means that even if something like construction accidentally knocks out the power, you can still upload that big presentation, email important clients, invoice customers, and not take a hit to your company's bottom line. For a limited time, switch to Comcast Business and get an amazing deal on fast, reliable internet. Get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines. Just one more way Comcast Business goes beyond other providers. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 12/31/18. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, subject to change. Connection Pro backup limited to up to 6 hours and requires Comcast Business Internet.
This is Georgia Bulldogs football.
35-30. He's got a convoy. He's got to go. Touchdown.
Now back to more of the Napa Tailgate Show.
Swift is in the backfield. They'll fake it to him, hand it to Simmons on the end around. Tyler with running room. Tyler, 35-30, 25-20, far side of the field, 10-5. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Tyler Simmons. His 3rd career score, his 2nd this season.
Tyler had some big games early in the year where he made some plays, and he's just now kind of getting back. He had an injury where he was out of whack for a little bit, and he's played well the last two weeks, really.
Yeah, Coach Smart on the money there. Tyler Simmons has racked up 3 touchdowns and 145 yards in total offense the past 2 weeks. Georgia and Georgia Tech getting ready to kick off at noon here in Athens. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network. Today's game plan is brought to you by Country Financial. Protecting what's important to you and preparing for your financial future doesn't have to be complicated. Take it one simple step at a time at TakeSimpleSteps.com. Lauren Smith, Scott Howard, Jay Black, Hondo, and Eric Zier back with us on the Napa Tailgate Show. And Justin Fields looked terrific last week. Jake Fromm plied his trade like an expert. What do you expect out of the QB rotation today?
I think it's going to be similar to what we've seen all year long. Jake Fromm is going to get the majority of the snaps, especially if not playing a whole lot last week. I expect to see him in and really getting tuned up for next week as well. But I think that we'll see Justin in situationally where we can take advantage of what Georgia Tech is trying to do against us defensively, but very similar from a rotation perspective to what we've seen all year long.
Okay, last week versus UMass, I counted 7 end arounds. You know, sometimes they have the little pitch forward, but end around, a little unorthodox to have that kind of proliferation of that play. Would you think?
You know, I think that we just found a play that was working well against the defense that we were playing. We didn't want to show a whole lot on film. We didn't have to. Our athletes were a lot better than UMass's athletes last week. We were able to get on the edge in a very simple little play where our athletes could get out into space and go crease them, and they couldn't stop it. They didn't have an answer, so we just kept going back.
So just keep running. Very good. Triple option alert. Tech likes to control the ball, eat clock, and wear down opposing defenses.
The number of opportunities or series or drives you may have, it may be less. I mean, realistically, it may be less. We probably have less than most people because we've been a ball control, time possession offense. maybe not to the extent Tech is, but we understand those kind of games.
That's Coach Kirby Smart, and Georgia Tech absolutely wants to control the clock. Right now, they're controlling the ball 34 minutes and 12 seconds per game. That they're holding the football. They want to keep it away from opposing offenses. The way we play, very similar there as well. We can ground and pound with the best of them. We want to continue moving the chains. Obviously, get them off the field every chance we can. If we come and we win this part of the battle, we'll win this football game for sure.
All right, very good. Eric Zier, the great quarterback, joining us here on our Tailgate Show. Thank you, Z. Coach Kirby Smart with an exclusive Inside Skinny on today's showdown with the Bees. That's coming up in less than 30 minutes. It's number 5 Georgia and 7-4 Georgia Tech coming up on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Everybody knows that peanuts are the state crop of Georgia. But did you know that Georgia farmers contribute nearly $75 billion to the state's economy each year? That's not peanuts. Those billions are why Georgia Farm Bureau cultivates farmers by promoting agriculture and offering access to benefits that save families money, like home and auto insurance. You can join online for just a few bucks a year. Peanuts.
Strong, dependable, ready for anything. The University of Georgia Bulldogs know what it takes to make a great team, and your local Massey Ferguson dealers are proud to support them. Take on the season with Massey Ferguson compact and utility tractors. They mow, load, handle hay, and more, all while delivering more of the power and versatility you've come to expect from Massey Ferguson. Experience the compact and utility tractors that will take you through the season strong. Visit GeorgiaMasseyDealers.com to learn more.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
In football, a triple threat is a player who can do it all. For barbecue, Dreamland is a triple threat. You can dine in, carry out, or let us cater your next event. For the ultimate tailgating experience, nothing beats a rack of legendary Dreamland ribs with your favorite sides. If you got a taste for winning, treat your team to Dreamland. There ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. A proud supporter of the Georgia Bulldogs.
At PT Solutions Physical Therapy, we're proud to be an official partner of UGA. In sports, getting to the next level takes lots of talent and lots of work. At PT Solutions, we believe that every young athlete deserves the opportunity to chase his or her dream. That's why you'll find our therapists and trainers on the fields and sidelines at every level, helping athletes stay healthy and be at their best. We hope you'll visit us at over 40 Georgia locations or at ptsolutions.com.
Setting the table for Dogs football.
Bounces out right, still running. 10, 5, pylon, touchdown!
You're listening to the Napa Tailgate Show.
Here's Cook on the carry. Cook cutting back, across the other way, changes directions, veers and weaves inside the 10, 5, touchdown between the hash marks, running on a full sprint into the end zone.
James Cook with that TD last week, his second of 2. Georgia tallied 701 yards in total offense last week. Over the past 2 weeks, we have an aggregate 1,217 yards. Let's hope we save some of that potency for Georgia Tech here today, right? Time now to check in with our Comcast Business Scoreboard. Last night you had 6th-ranked Oklahoma knocking off West Virginia in a real shootout, 59-56. Sooners winning that one over the 9th-ranked Mountaineers. And another top 20 matchup, number 18 Washington upset 18th-ranked Washington State. Final there was 28-15. Huskies with the win. Today at noon, you've got the Big Ten showdown between 10th-ranked Ohio State and number 4 Michigan. That game is in Columbus. Elsewhere at noon, number 20 Boston College hosts 12th-ranked Syracuse. Number 13 Florida is at FSU. Today at 3:30, top-ranked Alabama entertains Auburn. That game in Tuscaloosa, and Tennessee is at Vanderbilt today at 4. Tonight you've got South Carolina at Clemson, Kentucky at Louisville, LSU at Texas A&M, and Notre Dame at Southern Cal. This scoreboard update has been brought to you by Comcast Business Beyond Fast. first. Tech and Georgia, it's clean, old-fashioned hate kicking off in less than an hour. The Jackets, they are hot. They're aflame. They've won 4 straight and 6 of their last 7.
Arguably one of the hottest teams in the country as far as what they're doing offensively. They've put, 4 really good games together back-to-back, scoring a lot of points, playing better defense this year, and playing better on special teams as well.
Well, Scott Howard threw down the gauntlet earlier today. How hot are they, Scott? Not exactly murderer's row, huh? But they're not exactly chopped liver.
No, they're not chopped liver already. They're not white hot like it says in their game notes.
Yeah.
I take offense to that. They're not white hot. They have won 4 in a row. They beat Virginia most recently. They beat them in overtime last week. And by the way, Virginia lost to Virginia Tech in overtime last night or yesterday afternoon. They beat Miami 6-5. They beat Virginia Tech 5-6. They beat North Carolina 2-8. The ACC championship game is Clemson, very good team, number 2 in the country, against Pitt, a 4-loss team. That's the championship game in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So the competition is not up to the level, certainly, that it is in the Southeastern Conference. But you're right. I mean, it's not chopped liver. They won their games. That's their schedule. And they're on a little bit of a streak, and they're running the ball very, very well.
Scott's up in the press box. Lauren's down between the hedges. Hey, Lauren, the triple option offense, how do the Georgia coaches cram enough knowledge into the players' heads in just a week's time?
Well, they really can't. That's why they work on it a little bit all season. But basically, I remember Ert Russell always saying defense is recognition and reaction, so that's why they do so much about emphasizing playing assignment football. But concentration, working hard, and hoping that Georgia has the speed to match Tech's wide stuff. But the big play for most triple option kind of team is that inside handoff. So you stop that gives you a chance to control the line of scrimmage.
Eric Zier, we often talk about how vengeance will only motivate a team until kickoff at best. What about if you're in the fourth quarter? What about if there's 5 minutes left and we need a big stop or we need a big drive? Can the coaches sit there and talk about, you guys remember what they did 2 years ago? They tore up our hedges. Are they going to ever employ that during a game?
Probably not during the game. I mean, listen, it can absolutely come up throughout the course of the game. No question it has come up through the course of preparation, however. That billboard material absolutely exist. And when you talk about just ingraining something into your mind around getting ready for an opponent, when you have that happen to you, last 2 times they've been on this field, no question, every player on this Georgia team knows it, they understand it, they want to go protect their home turf. Once you get into the flow of the game, it is all about execution. It's about discipline and what we have to go do to be successful. But make no mistake, that has been drilled into the players' heads. What's happened the last couple of times Georgia Tech has won on this football field.
All right, very good. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Scott Howard, Lauren Smith, Eric Zier, your old buddy Hondo. And down on the field with Lauren, he's got the bus, man. Jerome Bettis is here, and he will join Lauren live from Athens. We're going to swap paint with Tech today at noon. The weather, it's clearing up right now. We're going to have a high of about 54, probably in the fourth quarter. So Lauren with Jerome Bettis will follow that up with Coach Kirby Smart with an exclusive Inside Skinny on today's game. This is the Bulldog Sports Network.
Life can be unpredictable. That's why having health insurance is so important to me.
When I'm covered, I can worry less and focus on staying healthy, like seeing my doctor for a yearly checkup.
And better from Peach State Health Plan is affordable health care coverage.
With a My Health Pays Rewards program, so I can take charge of my health and save money, too.
I choose the plan that's right for me. Visit betterisga.com today.
This is a solicitation for insurance.
Well, the Oranges really need to capitalize here if they want to win the Family Room Championship. There's the snap. Hyper Blue is going for the blitz. Here's Energetic Orange, dropping back, looks long, throws, and touchdown! SW6887 Naval with the 39-yard catch to defeat the Blues.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and bring home the color of your team spirit. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store today.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Those Southern-raised, nationally acclaimed Georgia Bulldogs. The only thing better than being a legend is a Bulldog, and you're both. Whether you're in a classroom, a boardroom, resting your paws overseas, or in Sanford Stadium screaming your red and black hearts out, you are legends. Delta is proud to be the official airline of UGA Athletics, and we're ready to take you everywhere legends need to be. Now let's hear that chapel bell ring. Delta Airlines, keep climbing.
Hey Georgia fans, nothing brings people together like Bulldog football and a great meal. So huddle up with family and friends and join us on game days or during the week for one of our daily specials. Like all-you-can-eat Chicken Tender Tuesdays or Free Pie Wednesday. Just search for one of our 29 Georgia locations at ocharlies.com and run a route to the restaurant closest to you. With online ordering, you can even set up a time to pick up your meal to go. O'Charlie's, proud supporter of Georgia Bulldog football.
You're listening to Dogs Football. Now back to more of the Napa Tailgate Show.
He's going to throw again. Deep ball, right sideline. There's Miko. Over the shoulder catch at the 14 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Miko Hardman.
Miko lightened the lamp at Sanford Stadium last week, and we're so glad that you are here joining us today. If you couldn't make it to Athens, that you're going to listen to the game right here on the Bulldogs Network. We are surprising Nick Johnson of Bethlehem and his entire tailgate crew today as our tailgater of the game, fueled by 76. Nick will receive a $50 gift card valid at 76 stations. We look forward to surprising more tailgaters as we go through the season. Brought to you by 76, fueling your tailgate. Now, down between the hedges, it's our Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Thank you, Neil. We bring back to the microphone Bill Griffin, our really good friend, who last game brought the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks, but you got a special friend of yours from your Pittsburgh connection. So introduce our guest, please.
Well, thank you, Lauren. We're here today with Jerome. We got our good friend Jerome Bettis with us. Jerome is our Hall of Fame running back from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is his first trip to Athens, Georgia. So we're excited to have him here for the Georgia Tech game. Jerome, welcome to Athens.
You know, this has been a pretty neat experience. Obviously, not being in the SEC, I haven't seen this type of crowd support and excitement. It's a lot of energy here, so I'm excited to actually see a game. I'm doing some scouting for our game against Notre Dame next year, so I'm just checking out to see what's going on, what we're up against.
Well, I was going to say this is your first trip, but I know we can expect to see you here late September next fall when your alma mater, Notre Dame, comes to Athens for the first time.
Yes, I do plan to be here. Bill's been gracious enough to invite me already. I am going to take him up on that. I plan to be here. It should be a great experience. When I played, I did get an opportunity to play a team in the SEC. We played Tennessee. So it's always good to get that experience of playing the SEC schools in their environment. So Notre Dame, they're going to be probably a big underdog in this one.
Well, it's a long time off, and things can happen. But we welcome them between the hedges, and now I know we'll be able to spend some time with you and Hines Ward next fall when that happens. You were a teammate of Hines with the Steelers. What kind of player was Hines? You were back there lined up behind him, but what kind of player was he?
Hines was an incredible player, but he was a great person, but his work ethic was really unmatched. He wasn't a high draft pick. He came in and he just worked his butt off. He played special teams. He did whatever the coaches asked him to do, and they finally saw how good a player he was, and he became a superstar literally by the work ethic that he had on the field. So really impressive. Great young guy.
You live in Atlanta now. You see him very often?
I do. So we stayed really good friends. We text each other all the time. We're always kind of joking at each other a little bit because we just have that kind of relationship. He's always been like a little brother to me. Just a great guy.
All right, Jerome Bettis, the bus. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Bill Griffin and Lynn Griffin for bringing him to the Hedges. And we go back up to Neil.
All right, thank you, Lauren. Georgia Tech, Coach Kirby Smart, exclusive Inside Skinny. 2 minutes for Mark on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
When this is the sound of a waterfall in nature, there's no cause for concern. But when it's the sound of water gushing through your living room ceiling because a pipe bursts inside the wall, there's reason to panic unless you pick up the phone and call 1-800-SERVPRO. Only the cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro can help make fire and water damage like it never even happened. So make the call to 1-800-SERVPRO at the first sign of water damage. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Whether you're an elite athlete, in youth sports, or a weekend warrior, the Northside Hospital Sports Medicine Network keeps you in the game and ready for action. Our team of experts offers a full range of sports medicine services to prevent and treat injuries and improve performance. With 10 locations in the Atlanta region, the Northside Hospital Sports Medicine Network is in your neighborhood. For details, call 1-855-NH-SPORT. That's 1-855-NH-SPORT.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
When the deadline clock is ticking, an unreliable network can cost your business money. That's why you need Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast with the complete reliability of 4G LTE backup, which means that even if something like construction accidentally knocks out the power, you can still upload that big presentation, email important clients, invoice customers, and not take a hit to your company's bottom line. For a limited time, switch to Comcast Business and get an amazing deal on fast, reliable internet. Get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines. Just one more way Comcast Business goes beyond other providers. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 12/31/18. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, subject to change. Connection Pro backup limited to up to 6 hours and requires Comcast Business Internet.
Perfect way to begin your Georgia football Saturday.
Kick is blocked! The kick is blocked! It's no good! It's no good!
Welcome back to the Napa Tailgate Show.
Play fake, Fields throws it, tight end wide open, Nauta down the middle of the field, running inside the 10, down to the 5, tackled from behind, at about the 4, maybe the 3. Isaac Nauta almost took it to the house. Couldn't quite get there. Welcome back to Sanford Stadium. Final home game of the year as we get ready to kick it off with Georgia Tech. Coach Kirby Smart is here. And, Coach, tell us a little bit about the process of preparing to play this Yellow Jacket offense today.
Well, we start well before this week. We get loaded up into it in the fall camp and then off week, and our scout team works pretty much the whole season, trying to get timing right so that we're prepared when this week comes. But we've had a good week of practice, and the guys have really kind of bought into the team aspect of this game.
So you're working on this on a regular basis every week a little bit?
Well, I wouldn't say every week. We certainly do it off week, preseason camp. We pick a couple Mondays in the season that we work on it. But our scout team is always trying to get at, because that's such the hardest thing is to get the picture.
How do you feel about the things that you do and working on what Georgia does best?
Yeah, I feel like we're doing good things. We've gotten better with each week. Our kids are really excited and prepared each week. I think offensively we've improved each week. Certainly last week was a good week playing a lesser opponent, but our kids came out and answered the bell and played the way they needed to. I think offensively this game is going to be critical to get third down conversions and protect the ball, to keep the ball away from them.
It's the final home game of the year and for your team and for your seniors. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, this is a great group, man. This group's been really special, and I certainly appreciate all they've done for us and as coaches and buying into the things we've asked them to. And I think that's critical. And I think the love that this team has for each other shows through these seniors, and we want to send them out the right way.
What is the health of your team right now? How do you look coming into today's game?
Well, we're dinged up, but so is everybody in the country. We don't ever sit around and cry about injuries. You know, Ben's still struggling to get back. Cade's not back. Kendall Baker's not back. Monty Rice is not back yet. So all these guys are we need them back. We want them back. But we've got guys that are prepared and ready to go play.
That's the good thing about the recruiting you've been able to do. You've been able to bring up the next guy, and they filled in admirably.
Yeah, next man up mentality, and that's why you practice to go play. And a lot of these kids have gotten an opportunity to go out and play, and we got to do a good job with them. What are some of the key elements to today's ball game? Well, as it is every game, don't turn it over on offense. They don't need extra possessions. And we got to convert third downs, and we got to score touchdowns, not field goals. And then defensively, it's not giving up explosive pass plays. Make them drive it through. Make them consistently do it. Get some turnovers, generate some turnovers, and that's big for us, tackling. One of the risks of Georgia Tech's offense is that they do put the ball on the ground a lot. I think they fumbled it 20 times this season. They haven't lost that many, but they put it on the ground that many times. Are those extra opportunities for the Bulldogs today? Yeah, we got to take advantage of those. If it gets on the ground, we got to get it. We've told our players in the crowd, fall on it, only scoop and score if you know you can, because possession of the ball is critical. And we got to create some confusion for them where it's tougher on them to make the accurate decision. You know those guys are going to run it about 90% of the time. Weather conditions a factor today if we have rain and sloppy conditions? Yeah, we've worked hard on it all week, knowing that we may be in slipperier conditions. And, you know, the ball exchange for them happens a lot more with the ball going in and out of different people's hands. But as far as the field goes, I think it should be in good shape. Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck against Tech, and we'll catch up with you a little bit later. Thanks. All right, that's Coach Kirby Smart. It's Georgia and Georgia Tech coming up here momentarily. Hondo, we'll send it back to you for more of the Tailgate Show.
All right, thank you, Scott. Dogs are 11-1. Tech is 7-4. Georgia has beaten Tech 14 out of the last 17 times we've played them. But in those 14 victories since 2001, 7 have been by a measly touchdown or less. We will see if we'll play tight or loose today, right? Try and blow them out. Kickoff between the hedges, less than 60 minutes away. This is the Bulldog Sports Network.
Get ready for a meal to remember, because Kroger is here to help you save on an amazing spread for your Thanksgiving feast. Enjoy low prices on the perfect turkey or ham, delicious produce that's always fresh, plus delightful desserts from the bakery. And save on everything you need to celebrate the season deliciously. That's how you holiday.
Kroger brand frozen turkeys are 59 cents a pound. Limit 2 with additional $25 purchase. And sweet potatoes are 39 cents a pound with card. Now at Kroger.
Anyone can deliver a box of groceries, but when you consider the source, only Kroger can bring you the fresh, delicious food and quality products you already know and love. And no matter how you like to get your groceries, Kroger makes it easy with store pickup, delivery, and now you can have your order shipped right to your door. So now it's easier than ever to check out while you're chilling when you shop online with the Kroger app or at Kroger.com today.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Did you know termites can fit into gaps as thin as your fingernail? So why in tarnation would you trust bait stations that are spaced 20 feet apart? Neil Hondo Williamson here from my friends at Breda Pest Management. At Breda, every inch of your home is protected, and the annual renewal fee is locked in at under $200. Get better termite protection and more value, all for a better price with Breda Pest Management. BREDA Pest.com.
Core Power is the official protein drink of the Dogs. Fueled by 26 grams of Fairlife's one-of-a-kind protein, your workout will never go to waste. Perfect for your gym bag or great for game day. Don't forget to pick up your favorite Core Power to recover better. Want to win the ultimate college football experience? Go to winwithcorepower.com to enter Core Power sweepstakes. You could win a trip for 2 to a Division I college football game during rivalry weekend. Go Dogs!
This is Georgia Bulldogs football.
35-30, he's got a convoy, he's got to go, touchdown!
Now back to more of the Napa Tailgate Show.
Will overload the right side, move the tight end Nauta in motion left, hand it to DeAndre. He dives Herschel Walker style into the end zone. Yeah, touchdown.
DeAndre Swift with that sweet TD last year in the 38-7 Bulldogs triumph at historic Grant Field. That made it 7 out of the last 9 for the Dogs over the Jackets. And that red and black domination is not unusual in this series, with the exception of one stretch, primarily during the 1950s, in which Georgia Tech beat Georgia 8 years in a row. The Dogs have ruled this rivalry. Prior to 1949, the Bulldogs posted a 22-13-5 record against the Yellow Jackets. And since 1957, Georgia has wrecked Tech to the tune of 44 victories and only 17 defeats. Win today, and our Dogs head into the SEC championship game versus Alabama with an 11-1 record for the second straight year. Now, before we head inside the stadium, let's hop into the Wayback Machine to 1997. Historic Grant Field. Georgia Tech has just rallied from an 11-point deficit to take a 24-21 lead on our 14th-ranked Bulldogs. Only 48 seconds remain on the clock, and Larry Munson has bemoaned that the Jackets have ripped our hearts out. But quarterback Mike Bobo helms a spectacular drive. He maneuvers the red and black into scoring position. A field goal will tie it. A touchdown will win. And Larry Munson has the call.
Interference on Tech, I would imagine from the spot of the foul they'll step it down, but there's no time. 24-21, interference on Tech, and most of the stadium boos. They got the ball right down where it was on the 8-yard line. Here we are, only 14 seconds for 8 yards. We spread 4 men out. The ones in the right are kind of wide. Stafford pointing at the defense or center. Shotgun Bobo. Bobo going to take it and look and throw it in the corner. And a touchdown! Oh, my God! A touchdown in the corner! My God! In the corner! Oh, my, it couldn't have happened. 27-24, it flashes up. You talk about a stupid miracle. Our heart that was torn out and bleeding, we picked it up and we stuck it back inside. I can't believe this. We won 27-24, and at the end we had no business winning this game.
Well, if that doesn't get your heart pumping, then I think you have a Grinch problem with the heart, okay? It's Georgia and Georgia Tech for the 111th time. It's not war. It's more serious than that. I'd like to thank our friend Jim Powell, voice of the Braves, for stopping by to say hello. Our stadium engineer for today's Napa Tailgate Show is Tony Schiavone. Zach Jewell is at the controls in the Bulldog Studios. Young Jay Black keeps us going here at the Scanna stage. For Scott Howard, Lauren Smith, and Eric Zier, this is Neil Hondo Williamson. The Ford Drive to kick off with Scott, Eric, and Chuck Dowdle is next. I'll talk to you again at halftime. Go Dogs. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network.